What's up, chat? How y'all doing? What's up, chat? Chat, why am I actually kind of vibing in this? Chat, this is gonna be my first ever watch party stream. Yeah. Should we do IRL stream? Chat, everybody's doing IRL today. Shadow's on the highway. Zon is at Fortnite, not Fortnite, Walmart. Crazy, chat. Anyways, chat, how y'all doing today? Chat, you don't think it's gonna win, game 1? Make your predictions. So, we got group 2, we're gonna stream that, group 3, and then we're gonna stream the finals. We're gonna stream all those, too. So, basically, that's gonna be what it is. Chat, should I remove the sub count on the screen? Let me know. Or is it fine? Chat, is group 2 gonna be the hardest? I don't know. I believe Click's gonna be in there. Peter, Pollo, Peter. Yeah. If they're in the group 1, yes. Cause I don't know if Click is playing this group stage. Probably not. Chat, what is Last Chance Lobby? I've never seen that. He's most definitely. Yeah. Wait, hold up. Give me a second. I can go find. I'm gonna go see if I can go find the I'm gonna mute the stream. Hold up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up. Give me a second. Me and him definitely have the same amount of NTS ones. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hold up. I can go to the stream description. I see if I can find it. No, they don't have a description about it. Crap. Alright, the only thing I can look is Fortnite Tracker or something. I don't know. This Fortnite Tracker? What up? What's the website on now? Uh-oh. What's up, CSS? What up? Let me find the website. I'm not gonna read chat for 2 minutes. And then we're gonna see what NA is. Okay. One. Okay. Oh no. Okay, I think I found it. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you guys about it. Hold up. Okay, what's going on with the stream? Okay, first place gets 1,000 points. Wow, so if you guys win, you guys get 1K. That's crazy. I don't know if the music is copyright. Give me a second. Hold up. Let me go down here. I can just look up Fortnite.com. I don't know though. Will you start putting the yellow on? Groups stage. Oh, I can't find it. Show it to everyone. You gotta. After this, wanna play Fortnite? Probably not. Maybe I'll stream Fortnite tonight because I just scheduled a stream. for tonight. So yeah. We're gonna be doing some more Fortnite tonight. Hold on, let me hide again. Let me see if I can find... Okay, let me find this. Give me a second, guys. I can see if I can find it. This... Bro, there's still a brain rot on Fortnite now, bro. Bro, what is going on? Yeah, still a brain rot on Fortnite? Competitive. Yo, what's up, Brian? Yeah. What's up, chat? Scheduled. I guess it's good. Progress is gonna start in like 5. Sorry. See full schedule. I don't know if that's what you do for today. I think the stream will show it. Oh yeah, lobby list. Hold up. I just found it. Thank you, stream. Lobby stream. Okay, chat. Let me go to where, like... Okay. So we got... Foyle's team, we got G's Money team, blah blah blah. Basically, yeah. Got the Sigma team with Pro. Surprised how their name is Sigma. Alright, now we got this team. So we got Booga. Alright, Booga's in it. We know that Booga's gonna be in the game. And Poyo. Chat, is Poyo gonna get contested? 91925. Why is that your user, bro? Skirt. Alright, chat, progress is... Did I say progress? Stream starting in 12 minutes. Not 12 minutes, 2 minutes, bro. I can't even speak right now. What in the world is going on? Okay, that's fire, chat. I'm gonna refresh stream so I don't have any delay. What is this? I made a garden work. Okay, bro. Fire for real. Alright, close this. Okay, why we have a Star Wars POI showing here? And I'm lagging, chat. Okay, chat. Let's see it, bro. Basically, we're gonna hear like a trillion yap. Like, so yeah. Alright, yeah, this is fire, chat. Wonder where they found this. They probably made this stream track. This is a stream, thanks man, appreciate that. Hold on, let me remove shorts. Oh no, I'm messing up right now. I'm not streaming shorts. What's up, Mario? Alright, stream started in like 30 seconds. I gotta... I'm in the car right now. Nah, it's all good. What's up, Leo? Chat, everybody's IRL today. We got Lazana and Walmart. We got Shadow the Highway. We got everybody IRL today. Bro, what, Leo? Like it ended. No, I didn't end, bro. Alright, chat, they're starting. Oh yeah, chat, they're lying. Oh, never mind. Imagine our timer froze. I thought it said 12 hours ago. No, I did not shoot for 12. the Victor Jr. Chat, W trailer for real. Okay, chat. I don't know why I'm not. Okay, my stream's kinda lagging because my stream's lagging. I'm not lagging at all. My stream's lagging 100% a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, we got another trailer. Chat, we got the FNCS Shockwave. Chat. If I go 100 subs, time to get like. Alright. Alright, chat.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Man, I missed y'all so much. It is great to be back. Here we are. Major number 3, the last stop before the global championship.
Oh yeah, chat. Globals are soon. It's September-ish.
We are almost at the end. It feels like we kind of just got started, but here we
chat,
are.
the last stream was like 2 months ago.
Last chance for many trios to secure that spot to the global championship. And it is stressful, to say the least. But there's 2 people that I know that can keep my nerves nice and calm, nice and chill.
Nice and chill.
My friends, major number 3. We're about to kick things off. How are you guys?
Crazy's how's already major 3. Like major 1 was like in January. Major 2, like, jeez man. Like April was major, and now we got major 3. Like, time flies.
Almost over.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Right? Everybody says time flies when you're having fun. Well, time goes pretty slow when there's no FNCS around. It's been like, what, 3-4 months since major number 2. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that we've been living without FNCS for that long. Major number 3, there is a lot to talk about.
That's right, man. Why don't we take a look back at kind of what got us to this point? We have this nice little roadmap for you guys.
Okay, so we got the competitive roadmap. We got Major 1, Major 2, January, February, we got April, Major 2, Pro-Am, and then we got Major 3, August. And now we got September 6 to 7 globals. Chat, we're gonna be streaming globals 100,000 billion. Sub 8 and West for breakfast, lunch, and bring breakfast is the sandwich. We also had that too. Alright, so we got these people that qualified. GG's. GG's, y'all.
I don't even know what to
Clicks call the GG's to everybody be qualifying.
Acorn taking away major number 1. Trio also joining them.
I had nothing for lunch and dinner leftover pizza. I have not had dinner yet.
Trio visuals, but now we still have so many big names.
Chat, we gotta wait like 10 minutes. So I'll talk to y'all while we wait. We gotta do the intros, you know. This is basically me every time, man. I literally talk to my chat for 20 minutes straight. Yeah,
I mean, that's scary. We were talking about last
chat.
It's like,
This is basically me every time. I gap for 20 minutes. Then we stream.
You're gonna have to go to that last chance in major number 3, but then it's like, oh well, our last chance to qualify for globals also has only 2 spots available. Just super competitive.
And before they can even get into the
championships,
they gotta get to the grand finals. Let's talk about how these
Katie Lynn doesn't want to be there. She's doing side eyes, bro. What?
For the first time. Hello, welcome to the FNCS.
I never
We
realized
had
that.
the play-in stages where we found our top 99 trios that have made their way into the group stages where they split 3 separate groups. From here, that's what
Chat, y'all like the globals?
and you're going to be watching out.
I am. I'm not going to globals. I'm not going to France for that. I'll stream it though if they go live for it.
And they will no longer play
Chat.
in the games left.
Last finals of major finals too was like the biggest thing ever.
Also be joining those other 5 trios. But there's still one more opportunity for trios to make their way to the grand finals.
Yeah, that last chance qualifier, groups 1, 2, or 3 don't work out for you. We'll see you then.
Hey man,
We don't want to take that far though, right?
I was about to say she ain't doing side eyes. She only did one side.
But maybe you haven't.
Everybody does that, you know.
Maybe it's your first time. Hi, it's great to have you here. Let's talk about the meta. What can our viewers expect to see, guys? I mean, there's brand new POIs. There's a new loophole. There's a down. There's like hero rank. But many of these trios, Kelly, have their eyes set on demon domain.
Well, she doesn't want to be there.
A lot of trios. Two big trios for North American Central. Of course, I'm talking about Peterbot versus Poyo. What a
Oh my god, bro. Are they gonna do a long spawn fight? I don't even know if Peterbot's gonna be in this game. I think this is just gonna be Poyo.
A team will ego out another team, but when the two biggest
Tiago, chat. Tiago.
Well, it looks like they're
Medal.
staying here in
Mythic.
Mythic domain. There's no confusion as to why. It is that medallion. And then, of course, the Mythic Enhanced Sniper Rifle as well, Vivid.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
two
the
best
two
teams in the region always going to want to go for the best.
Oh, yeah, it heals you.
Your
shields. Bro, my stream's lagging. I'm not lagging at all. My stream's lagging 100 trillion%.
We've talked about it plenty of times before. We all know how valuable some of those inventories we all know how valuable some of those inventory slots are. But there's actually another medallion on the island. It's kind of
Yeah, the core medallion.
For that
Rift Island that's going to be spawning. Fighting the boss up there is going to net you some weapons as well. And then the medallion that kind of allows you to not only go invisible, but also come out of a sprint jump, you're going to go a little bit further, right? And oh my gosh, give
did they buff
ability
to some of our
pro players who love to play aggressive. I'm looking at players like Peterbot, players like Poyo, right? It is scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very apropos that the boss name is Core.
For a second, I thought the medallion dashed because I had the dash
Right
spell.
now, the solo clutches
In the season, I was like,
medallion
it's still
are
dash medallion.
skipping the mid-game right now. The in-game
not.
solo clutches that I've seen with this
If it was a
medallion
dash
is just
medallion,
so exciting
it would
to
win the best
watch. And
medallion.
honestly, I feel like that's kind of encompassed what this whole season's been about. It's just exciting. These in-games are so different than what we've had throughout the year.
Okay, I
like that you're highlighting the end game. Why don't we take it back to the beginning, the mid game?
Let's talk
about this brand new economy, right? UO rank.
Yep.
Starting at C. We're trying to make it all the way up to S, but like, why are we doing this? What's the purpose of that?
Bro, I bet everybody's already in matches. There's no way you can wait 15 minutes for one match. That'll be crazy.
It's going to be the lower tier loot, but then going all the way up to S. You get some incredible items, including the hero items as well. And it's quite easy actually going up from C all the way to S. Various things you can do throughout the map to be able to increase your hero rank to be able to unlock these caches, much like the sprint shines right here.
Yeah, and I've always kind of loved looking for competitive as a game of time investment, right? In these hero ranks, kind of having this list of tasks you can do or invest time into, and then at the end of it being able to reward some of that time that you spent with loot. Love stuff like that around the map.
You know what I love Vivid? It's mobility.
Guys, there is
so much you too. There is so much mobility in this season. I mean, you guys remember Grim Gate, you guys remember being able to dash. We're back at that again, but this
Basically,
someday
I
hope to find out.
Yeah, the sprite dash that we have right here. What I really like about this item and that is kind of missing
all
from
the
the other
syrup
items in the
cubes,
game
chat.
is that it's actually an AoE item, so it's
I
just
know
one
this is
person has to
a
hold
CH.
it, but then everyone in the trio is able to actually get the benefit of
One day I'll
those
say your
dashes.
name right.
Similar to the Grim Gate, like you said.
I just
My
like saying the
favorite
OG
item
names, you
is
know.
definitely the Surf Cube. What we've seen from these aggressive WP players in the early game.
Chat, imagine they're already in endgame already in 7 minutes.
Yeah, of course, it's very,
very good, but I can almost guarantee you all
True, right? Let's repeat the line battle royale. Okay. I'm just gonna do it by season by season. So chapter 6, season 1, which where I started. Okay. My favorite POI was probably the Demon's Dojo POI. With the 9 Rose medallion. I really like that medallion. And the Void Unimask, that was like probably one of my favorite ones. And then with the Typhoon Blade, chance to be spawned over there. Imagine if it was guaranteed, man. I wouldn't get spot.
I cannot wait to see them transform in action. And when I talk about meta defining, there's also two names I have to compare with
season
that.
2. I've been like, I landed on the train like every single time. Mythic Sentinel Pump. I got that a lot. Okay.
Really a whole new dynamic for Fortnite right now.
And then this list will nothing like we've seen this year.
Story season,
Kind of been
I just picked a random spot to be honest. Like, I think I landed on like the first order base POI. Or now in like this season, like the Superman season, which we're currently in, I just picked like Supernova and like Demons Domain and like something like that. You know, I usually land from the dying and stuff, so like, yeah.
It's gonna be tough, right? We're talking about a
Yes.
season essentially that we've had limited set lobby opportunities, right? If you weren't out there really putting your nose into the screen scene, then you will be coming out the gate struggling here. So we'll see who's been putting in that work here. We're starting to look up and gear up here for just the first three stages. I mean, but it's obvious, Jake. We got a couple favorites, like you mentioned, Acorn, of course. And you know, again, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, it definitely is.
It's basically
big game winning teams. And also look at the consistency. Oliver OG, history
has it on his side. Power, Buzan, they got it as well. But there's so many more teams to break down. Zeke, let us know what
the wisest voice recognized me on something like a YouTuber.
Maybe didn't know.
Why should his voice sound like a YouTuber? I'm not even joking.
Finals or through consistency. That's what Jacob was talking about, right? So at the end of the day, in the top 5, we're making it through as well. Now let's bring up our library. Who are we seeing here in group number 1? There's a lot
of big here's group 1 lobby list. We're gonna have Foil, Oliver, OG, and basically a lot of others.
Here in group number 1, guys.
Yep.
I feel like we should and can and once again should expect these guys to get a victory out, right? I mean,
chat, if they get a victory out, that's crazy.
You know, potentially uncontested over a Demon's Domain, but with these group stages, you never really know. And honestly, I always say that has to be sports story, and who has a better story?
Imagine they're already in the match, 12 teams left.
Acorn being dropped by their duo mates at the end of last year, joining together, and when a lot of people kind of wrote them out, they go off and win Major 1, but then Major 2, a little bit of a step back, getting fifth place, which otherwise is absolutely phenomenal. But this trio, a little bit surprising, but we've seen this climb up from Pollo in the play-ins.
First place, 1,211 points. That's for Major 3 play-ins. That was in the play-ins. I got Booga. Chat. Who y'all think is winning? Booga or Pollo or like... Who's gonna win, chat? Who is going to win?
Major, right? Are they actually going to be going for that win right now? Are they kind of shifting their focus towards like their
early game? Cake, chat. He's been winning, bro. Because he won Major 1. Because I remember he won Major 1. Like, yeah. Hold up, child, we're back.
There, who knows? But I can almost guarantee you today their focus will definitely be winning the game.
Man, I cannot wait. I'm sure we'll see both of those trios in the grand finals. But first, I want to talk about another trio. Let's bring that live list back up once more. Center of your screen, Taki, Show, Invert. Now, obviously, like, you've been following this, you've heard the name Invert before. But what about Taki? What about Isho? How has this trio been performing up to this point?
I mean, they've honestly actually been performing quite well for a new trio. Bert going all the way back to 2019, even winning an FNCS 2020 solo championship for NA West. You know, he's been a player for such a long time. Now joined by Taki, Isho, relatively newer players. And since they've been joining up together, they've had some pretty good performances. 10th place in the last FNCS finals. And also big shout out to the players who recently signed by Sword organization. And clearly after performances that we've seen from them in the play-ins and just the season in general, I can understand what organizations are kind of turning their focus onto them. They have such great aggression early and mid-game, and honestly, I'm a little bit surprised by how aggressive they are, but it seems to be working out for them, being able to take down some pretty big teams recently.
Yeah, I mean, what a first showing, right? Making it to your first FNCS finals and getting 10th place. There is so much to build on for that trio right there. I'm sure they're going to go ahead and make it in the grand finals today. I'm excited to see what they do there.
Oh my gosh, man. There's just so many names. There's just so many names. And you know, if you maybe didn't have a chance to watch EU earlier, you already know that this competition is crazy. And again, I'm just going to continue to stress this until like the final day of grand finals, okay? This is the last chance, okay? We need to make it to grand finals to try and secure a spot going to the global championship. However, one last trio to talk to you guys about is we'll bring up that live one final time. And we take a look at page number 2. There's a trio on the second page that has not secured themselves a spot. And if they don't, I'm not going to globals, okay? It's directly praise. Come on, man. Is it even globals without Booga, Kelly? Is it even good to be global?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, Zeke, and hopefully we find themselves in our top 5 list, and we've seen them quite close already. Uga and Threats have had some pretty good performances in Major 1 and Major 2, but just not close enough to be able to clutch out that global championship spot. Now joined, or I should say rejoined by Craze. They've had some pretty good performances so far, even taking down the likes of Hoyo's trio during mid-game fights that we saw during the play-in. They clearly have the aggression. They have a great drop spot landing over Utopia City uncontested. We've already seen that they have some good placements throughout the Div Cups, but is that going to be enough for the Grand Final?
All right, chat, we're back.
I mean, Booga
Oh, they're
himself
talking
made
about.
25
Oh, they're talking about
to
Booga. Go
NCS
Peterbot.
finals.
Oh, we're talking about Peterbot. Is he gonna be in this game?
In that regard, right?
Chat, we don't know if Peterbot's gonna be in this game. I don't think. I think he's gonna be in Group 3. Probably Group 3. I do not know. But chat, if he's in this game, he might get a victory royale.
Why would you curse them?
Because
you know what?
Everybody like himself, chat. This battle is about to get ready.
So I'm gonna stick to the script that I wrote. Guys, we're getting closer here to starting off the competition. I was gonna spot through it. Right, like there's been pressure before, but like now it's gotta be more than ever.
I think due to the nature of these group stages and how players can win, whether that's victory royales or placements, I think that we're going to see potentially
Yo, bro, Peterbot's bad. How is he bad? He's like the greatest player of all time.
I think just
chat, my stream is lagging so bad because I'm not lagging. Sen is basically Peterbot. Like, Sen just destroyed Peterbot so hard.
Adapt. Let's get into it.
Sen went trying to Peterbot. Yeah,
right now.
5-0 Coil. Like, Sen might be the greatest player of all time if he ever wins FNCS, or you never know. He doesn't do competitive. He just chat. Battlebus is ready, chat. Come on.
Starts now. Let's get into it.
All right, chat. Game 1.
And this is where the story begins for some of those teams.
Some of those chat, we might get some crazy plays.
13 of them are looking to punch their ticket to the grand finals.
Who's spectating today, chat? We're spectating this guy. I don't know who he is, but he just got a nice little elimination. Nice. Got Twitch, broken, 4X. Alright, getting ammo boxes, looting up. Freaking shields, porta potty,
or center map and leaning a little bit north to the west side. Here, of course, we have a Fluttered Frogs fight. Over on the opposite side, you got Liam already taking his kind of battle head-to-head with the opposite here. They haven't gotten
got Liam, FB.
I was gonna say, what are they waiting for?
I don't even know who these people are, to be honest. Alright, we got Quick. 55 people are trying to qualify for the first ever FNCS. W's in the chat, bro. 55 people are trying to qualify.
It's not easy.
Almost 60 people. 55 people in this match. Or, I don't know. I don't know if it's in this match or in the tournament. Oh, they're fighting. Wait, hold up. Liam just got down. Liam. Not Liam. Alright, we got this guy. Oh, they're eliminating people. I never done a watch party, so this might not be great.
With all the eliminations,
and just like that, they clean things up here at the resistance base. And the zone
something
this is a perfect start for their
Alright, not bad of a loadout.
Remember, all that matters is a victory royale, right? You want to
chat, I don't know why stream's so laggy. Oh, we're spectating Boyle's team, bet. Or spectating Agers. Oh, wait.
I mean, the Fortnite.
Oh, he's at the league?
Peterbot's domain, this is the contested fight.
Agers has qualified for 7 FNCS finals by winning a game. The most. They're doing the most in the world.
This time around are going to get it uncontested. And honestly, I don't know.
Alright. Oh, wait, they're fighting. And then they got people fighting over here. Oh, crap. Oh, 919-25. Hit chat. Chat, y'all see it right there? 919-25 next to my sub count. What does that mean? Why is his name 919-25?
It's nothing but another day in the office.
That little fight
going down right now, though. This is just outside of that resistance space. Furthermore, west here.
Alright, chat. Oh, just hit someone with the DMR. I don't know what was your shot, so.
Amen. Not sure where this stuff is.
Hey, man, they gotta lock in.
Yourself exposed.
Everybody gotta lock in, man.
You can kind of even see, judging by the loadout, there's some missing bits of utility. Some players only having ARs, no shotguns.
Yeah.
This is a straight off-spawn scrappy.
This is basically like DMR
shotgun
shotgun
only
fight.
We already saw the resistance base. The dust settled over there. They're moving up. If they hear this noise, you know as well as I do, Monster. Invitation or not, they're like, hey, this is a third-party opportunity. This is for us to get that early game storm surge. So you have to start to dictate our own game plan.
Bro, my stream's actually lagging, chat.
Storm surge says so.
Things seem to be kind of simmering out here. Both trios likely contemplating of whether or not this is worth taking to the finish.
Alright, we got Lucky Teed.
But it's up to the high ground team to go and make that disengaged decision.
Is that a rando or you just throwing minis down?
Opportunity.
Oh no, that's his teammates.
Turbulence is kind of sitting idly, almost signaling.
Hold on, let me remove my sub count so you guys can see.
Don't want to even leave from here, you know. You have a chance, run away. You gotta end this right now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
what you said. The high ground team has the one.
Oh, we gotta fight. Oh, we
Basically all
got
the
brutal.
flexibility,
We're
all the
the box
choices in the
first.
world. No one
Alright, so we got ENT boy.
You're seeing a
Alright,
lot
chat, we
of
gotta have some fighting
all
over
around
here.
the map, even for some
Lock it in. Oh,
brutal box cars like
missed
on
that
the
shot.
outskirts. Board, Mako, Icy, box
Oh.
to box, hole with
Oh,
another
whoa.
team, and they have one of them separated. That's why they're
Forty.
trying to take the 3v1 while they can, and even with shots coming in, that third
One up,
you see
make
a
wish.
whole nother team on the eastern
side.
of that brutal box car.
40.
Because the zones
Nice.
you mentioned early on,
Nice
in
wish.
this direction, mainly
Lock
towards the
in,
north.
man.
This is
This is
gonna be a
another
priority
DMR and a
position.
shotgun fight.
Yeah,
Mako's definitely needing some ammunition. They're gonna
Lock it in.
Should be
Nice.
awesome.
Nice hill in.
The first
knock,
knock,
so
Eliminate
Box
it.
Star Trio is forced to retreat. And this
Alright.
is all
That's the
because
people
of
at
that
Brutal,
Eastern
bro. They
team
gotta
that
lock
they
in, man.
put their
Their
influence
influence in, I mean,
Oh, they got the
And,
spire. Oh yeah, they're getting a free exotic,
no
bro. After this.
yes, would have been full finish.
Yeah, they can cook.
At least they're going to be able to kind of get a little bit of control over
towards
the
brutal
box.
Alright, I got
How
2
active
MGs.
the game is
Yeah, Kappa
overall.
Factory
From
fight.
outpost, rotating
Eliminated
up to Kappa,
someone.
Rise,
G Money.
Aviv, G Money.
Money.
Just taking the
We
fight
got
to
G Money
Darby,
eliminating
and their
that guy.
trio.
I don't know
Luckily, it
who
looks
he
like one of
is.
them might have been able to survive.
Nice
That's
one.
the saving grace for that team over
Yep.
Kappa Atlantic.
So, chat, are they just gonna farm searchers? That's why everybody got DMRs in this lobby. Because everybody I've seen spectate, they have DMRs.
Unfortunately,
I mean, the DMR is okay. I mean, it's good for surge. Oh, we got the Auber OG. We got Auber's OG's team. Yeah.
Of course, look out. Blake Diego,
Alright, we're spectating Blake.
season after season, year after year, all of them.
Yeah, they're trying to get surge. Nice shot. Yeah, everybody's using DMRs to get surge.
In the past, maybe put this as a team that could be a potential call, but now I think they're a shooter.
Yeah, I would agree with
Nice.
that one, especially since they've mainly
Blake,
getting into
you
a
gotta
lot of
watch it.
consistency.
You gotta watch out, bro.
A lot of these tournaments, they're playing these games in a finals style
Alright, we got
lobby,
Boyd.
even though some of the tournaments on the screen don't necessarily
Alright,
like
we
that.
got
It's
people
the same
fighting
team
over
to
here.
their focus.
I don't know if they're fighting, but they're fighting the boss. The exotic boss, yeah, they're fighting him.
You get a lot of
Oh,
superhero
no,
rank, you
those
get
are
a
people.
lot of different
Oh.
ammo, med kits,
minis,
minis.
They're not
and
fighting the
weapon
boss
has
yet.
a chance to drop. That's where you need
a
a
lot
lot
of
of the
I don't
end
know
up
that.
in this direction towards the box cars. Even if the team isn't
Oh.
necessarily getting it for themselves,
Lock in, chat.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
What's your Discord?
Those hero ranks, gotta take fight.
Oh, watch out. Wish.
Kind of scrap by
Chat.
another side objectives. Teams are gonna look to fight first.
Here's my Discord.
Boy, find out the hard way here.
Well, give me a second. Sandman. Alright, we got Sandman. Find that Birdo.
I guess the momentum in their side. Yeah, this main build down to 10 HP.
Nice good.
And finish. And that's the power of the sprite dash there. No, most players try to preserve them, right? You know, you don't want to burn them off too soon, but you play like that. Plenty, of course, showing how to do it, how to get it done.
Alright.
Yeah, almost like a no-brainer
Find the
sacrifice.
spire.
If I use these two charges and it gets
Lock
me
it in.
elimination,
Gotta
definitely
fire
going
that-
to be
we gotta
worth it.
fight that
That's
spire.
20. Northern Sandman. They
Sandman.
left the Supernova Academy uncontested. So you see, as soon
Oh,
as any team is
crap, they're
uncontested towards
cooked.
Supernova Academy, because
We got
that rail that
people
launches
here.
you over towards
Jeez,
Brutal
oh
Box
no.
Cars, it inevitably gives you a free shot, a free
I was about to
opportunity
say
to
the
fight
people
the team
find
without
the
them
spire.
noticing,
We're
and that's
cooked.
exactly what they're going to do.
If
Even with
that
one
was
elimination, they got
6
full
people.
control. But still,
Alright, we got
overall, Brutal
Twitter
Box Cars, you're
mad.
seeing this
Mad
Mad
and
Monster
Monster
and their
and their
trio
trio
just getting
getting these eliminations, cleaning up what is left
Alright,
on
we
these
got EXE
outskirts.
Void,
And if not
bro.
for the points, it's for the loot that they weren't able to get early on.
Bro, how did I not
Surprised
see
they don't
them?
even see Void there, so he's kind of laying
How do
low
they not
right now
know?
as
How
they
do
just
they
been
not know?
hunted down.
Bro,
No breaks given
how
to
did they
them.
not know they were
That
there?
and Liam and Drizzy was that
No
certain team fighting on the
way.
mountains. It was just a matter of time before they kind of
Nah,
rotated through. So
bro. Oh,
see
wait, we're
what
spectating Booga.
all, of course, resulted from that. Booga, threats and craze. Booga looking to make his, what was that Vivid pointed to at the top of show? 26 or so FNCS Grand Finals here to come.
Alright, Booga
Very
and
big,
Dretz qualified for
big
both
time
majors.
for, of course, Booga, one of the most
Jeez.
consistent year after year, season after season. Just doesn't give up.
Alright, we got Man Sydney.
Has the most in this lobby at 25 currently. Aegis is actually going to be the second most with 22, along with Acorn with 22. Seeing a lot of experience in this lobby. As
Alright.
his own pools and
We
kind
got
of
people over
centers up
here.
Utopia in the middle. That kind of gives them
Storm
all the flexibility in
camping.
the world. They don't have
Men
to
miss.
rotate. They know from
Shields.
the north,
Nice
the
inventory.
south, and the east. The teams are going to have to
Howard,
rotate
I don't
into
know why you
them.
have
So
a
they try to
SWAT
set
rifle.
up
I
their
recommend
triangle
shotgun.
surge bases over towards Utopia to get as much of that storm surge as possible. Ishu,
But the cape is really good.
Towards the north,
Because, like,
of that
if you, like,
City.
use it, you'll turn to, like, a bird
Typically are
and
going to use this
don't
geyser
take any
instead of
storm
just one.
damage.
People are wondering right now, Monster, like, why? They're already in the sky. What are they waiting for? You double use this geyser. It gives you extra height. You're able to use it to get farther in towards the zone. So when we tune into them later on, Monster, I expect them to see probably center zone set up ready to go. That's one of those techniques.
Okay, I have not been in this field in a big, massive while.
The optimization here coming
Okay, thank you, no problem.
One thing to think about, I know Kelly was
Alright,
hinting at
we got some people over here. Locking in, bro.
We also are seeing
Whoever that guy is shooting
storm, right?
and build a
This
better
one
lock
gives
in,
you
man.
that much more freedom to
Oh,
kind of
nice.
play
Nice shots,
around
Aiden.
and battle
Aiden,
really
nice.
inside of the zones. I'm thinking we'll see a
Everybody's
lot more
locked in.
storm sickness
Everybody
than
locked in.
anything come the end game, but give it a second
Everybody
there.
locked in.
Esho
We got
Taki
3
on the
teams
hunt
dead
once again,
already.
finding out
Jeez.
Liam there.
Well, GG's
One
monster.
of 2 left in this
GG's chat. GG's monster.
Almost makes you wonder, did they just land on him from that double geyser? Probably so far away from his team. You see it on the west
Replay, let's
part of
do
the
the
mini-map. They're
replay.
slowly, surely rotating in. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They landed directly on his surge
Yo,
base while Ishu just
fell,
shooting him out
bro.
from
Oh,
underneath.
nah.
I don't think he stood
No,
a chance with the way they did that one.
No, bro, that's
That might be a little
actually
play they're
mad
giving away
funny.
for grand finals right there. I don't know if I'd, run that play
Oh
so
my
soon
God.
here in a group stage, but one thing to think about, showing you all the vulnerabilities of playing so far apart from your teammates. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, we got 9-19-25. Oh, we're spectating this guy now.
Down, and this is kind of exactly what you were
Alright,
alluding
got
to,
broken
how
4x
deep and how
again.
long
They're
they do
fighting
fight in the
people.
zone. Broken, Void,
Oh, we're fighting this
King,
guy.
they kinda
Lock
need
in.
this situation.
Lock in, chat.
They didn't necessarily get the most serves to
Who's
start
winning the
this game
fight?
off, even while contested. So now they find a full force
Lock it in.
to try to fight for it.
Everybody we
2v1,
spectate use the
pressuring box. King is
DMRs.
able to get in, landing a good shot, and continuing to pressure out.
Lock
Damage
it in.
is still there, but it's
Lock it
still
in.
a 3v1 monster. The bait and switch, they make it
Lock
clear
in,
that the
chat.
first point guy going into that box is going to be the most healthy, and that's why Broken is now taking the
Oh,
lead.
this
Charging
EXE
in,
guy is
pressure
cooked,
there,
bro.
and there's that
Jeez.
full trio down.
4
down.
teams are already dead.
Excellent pre-fires by
GG's
DJ,
those
but
4
not enough to
teams.
hold it down. And what a huge elimination. The first misforms now falling out of their
Oh, yeah, the
inventory
misform's
into the
really
hands of
good.
Void and company. That's going to be a
Oh, we got
massive
what else do we got?
power
We got
exchange
Acorn
for
at
them.
the core
We got
island.
Acorn for you on Ager. Seems like
We got that on the
full
island.
control
Oh,
of things
we
on
already
the
got surge bases.
other side of
GG's.
the
We got a
fox
surge
here.
base. I just saw a surge base.
Again, this is
Oh.
about as ideal as it gets right now. Cat material loadout is natural high ground.
Lock it in.
And then you see a loadout perfectly situated right now for an end game. So
Oh, okay.
all gonna come down to fishing for damage here and just staying consistent now. I'm sitting here looking in the mini map. I'm like, okay, Acorn has the island. You got to imagine they have the medallion.
We got Adrian. Yeah, they got the
Is on the
medallion.
island with them. They have so much
Oh, wait, Adrian's with
separation.
the
They're
mythic.
covering up so much space in this zone that they're able to kind of do what they want. Adrian's is on the
Everybody we
north
spectate
side,
has
west
every
of
rated
Foxy
DMR.
Floodgates. You got Acorn on the island. Let's go on hunting. Where is Poyo? He's on the
Hello,
other
Poyo.
side of Foxy Floodgates on the mountain. So they have the west
He's near
covered. They
Foxy.
have the east covered. And then they have Acorn sitting in the middle, ready to help whoever needs it at any given time. This is just a perfect kind of
Sorry,
scenario
OP here.
for what looks like the major
Hey,
one
it's all good,
champions.
man. WStream. Hey,
Yeah,
thank you,
most
man. I really
definitely.
appreciate that.
Saw a quick look at
All
everyone's
good,
loadout. I
Mario.
mean, they are big chilling for this end game right now. Again, the name of the game for them is just hang out, get a little bit of damage, and I mean, they have full control of the Foxes'
TK's team.
entire domain.
I'll surge base, chat. We got the surge base. Alright.
Lila Larson right now.
Lock in.
Prime City. Lila with
Wait, surge
This is a team
active?
that already has a trio wipe under their belt.
Please type in chat.
You kind of see them looking off in the distance. In the minimap, you see that little chest there where one team's already on it. Just north, you see the little green arrows, the second team. They're just kind of waiting for their superhero rank to go up. That's going to unlock the ability for them to open up that chest, get whatever loot that they have,
Alright, we
kind
got
of pick and choose if they already have a full loadout.
here.
So you've seen kind of proactive plays coming out from some of these teams, kind of trying to box up, and steal, even if they don't have access it with their superhero rank yet.
Superhero rank is
Chat, surge is
a
active.
lot of goodies on this end game, but hold up. Mafia already pushing up here. Woods, Vinci, and Ski gotta be careful right now. This team's looking to full collapse. Very interesting base. I'm not sure I've ever seen.
74 above. Oh, no, you gotta lock in, bro. You gotta lock in. 74 above is actually insane.
Find out what the play is.
40 above. Oh, they're cooked. If they get hit by surge, they're cooked.
Just judging by the low surge, no elimination.
Fighting
that
them,
was
bro.
the team that
GG's.
had over the top eastern portion of the map. So instead of using that time to rotate in and get storm surge, they were focusing on that primary position towards the center of the zone. That kind of leaves a hole in their game plan. So even though they're only 73 above the damage threshold, that can turn in the blink of an eye.
Alright, we got the EXE club over here. Oh, 47 above. You have to lock in.
47 above. It's a small feeling of confidence knowing you're at least not taking damage, but in the back of your mind, you know, I gotta start finding, I gotta start hitting these shots. Otherwise, it's going to be me forced with my back up against the wall just to push the first team we see.
Yeah, gotta take accountability of the
Surge is active,
the
everybody
tags
lock
that
in.
matter. It's the small decisions and opportunities that change your entire Fortnite game experience.
Oh, we got more fights.
Well, let's jump into some action right now. Jungle having Silic here.
53 above,
on
lock
top of
it
number
in.
one, kind of looking, fishing for damage. They just want to get a few tags in, right? Kind of ease up this pressure that's coming from the Storm Surge here shortly from Mikey's trio.
Kills a Void Soul.
Bradbury, they don't want
What's
to
a
be
Void
too
Soul
rash
on
either. Kind of
my
waiting
account
for
got
the team
banned.
to come to them, and
I
it
still got
seems
your
like
channel.
everyone has
Oh,
decided
thank
to
you, man. I
jump
really
into the
appreciate that.
blender.
I'm sorry your account got
Pretty
banned.
quickly here. 75 damage above right now. Tries to retreat now for Full Cake. They want to heal. Kind of forced to right now.
Samus W.
Not necessarily in the worst spot. Moments ago, they were above the damage threshold, much better than Jargo having Silic for 270, which is more than a full shield elimination. Crackly probably looking to take some of their focus, but
Oh,
Jargo
wait,
used
we're
that
on a
misform
fight.
to
Wait,
try to
I gotta watch
reposition. He's
this.
still trying to go on the
Okay.
offensive. No
Got
opportunity
the
for him
EXE
there.
fight
They're
again.
trying to play
176
calm, cool,
below.
collected.
Oh, they're
Even
cooked.
as they're so far
Chat,
down the
they're
damage
actually
threshold,
cooked.
they're trying to
We're
play
gonna
as
get hit by
calculated
surge.
as
150
possible
above.
because you cannot give any big shots
GG's,
out to any
bro.
one of these two
G to the
teams, because
GGG.
then it could be all over.
I mean, answer this, Jacob. Can you miss
Lock in.
and block a Storm Surge tag? Like, have we seen that tested to some degree?
The timing on that one would be actually pretty
Insane.
I want to say it's possible because I've seen that misform mitigate every single ounce of damage so far. But Hypers loses Full Cake, and they're still falling below that damage threshold. But with the outlaw shotgun, all it takes is one shot to turn the tides of not only the fight, but your damage threshold. But that's not going to come into play this game.
397 above. Oh, they're chilling, bro.
Jargo, Silic, and Havoc, they're going to be able to live to
Okay, we're at Time City. I've not been here in a while.
That's how you handle the low
89
surge.
above.
Well played by
GG's,
them.
man.
Very few teams will make it out of that type of situation alive. You had three trios all on top of each other for Smosh, Electro, and King Beast.
GG's, you're getting hit by
no.
surge. They need to go.
A lot
They
of
need to be
damage
confident
coming
right now.
through. So
Oh, they're
world
fighting
of
on the train.
struggle here on the horizon for Smosh. Tries to find a tag. This is
Okay, nice.
the one that mattered there, but boxes
6
up the
below.
team. Okay,
They're
almost got out of
6
there before the tag
below.
ended.
They're cooked. Chat, they're cooked. They're literally losing
That
health.
was a great play. That
GG's,
was
bro.
getting him to cancel the med kit.
GG's, bro.
Active
GG's,
storm
bro.
surge.
They lost.
That's exactly what you gotta do, Monster, in situations like that. You almost can tell if you're above the damage threshold by about 200, 300, 400, and you know a team is recklessly pushing you as far away from the zone as they have. You kind of get a semblance of, hey, maybe they're low on surge. If we can just survive long enough, that will do the work for us, and that's exactly
what
just
got Rise. Surprise. Oh yeah, they're chilling right now.
DG money now. Outside the safe zone here.
360. Yeah, they're so cooking. They're chilling, bro. 4 and above. We're chilling.
The other teams who find themselves in better positioning.
Chat. Alright, we're spectating 2 EMGs again. Nice loadout, bro. Nice loadout. 100 builds, yeah. Yeah, they're cooking, bro.
Yeah, they can being used. You know they have the
chat.
misform
Watch
in
them
their
again in
back
the
pocket,
end game.
Combining both methods of
Watch them again in
rotation
end
to try to
game.
make their way in, but it just as they
We're
reach
kind of
the end,
close.
hey,
We're getting the end game really soon with 61 alive.
Maybe even one other, all focusing in this direction. Even though they're surviving for now, they are burning through a lot of materials.
Yeah, they're burning a lot of mats.
You saw for a second there, Rise switch that bed miss in case things
they
got
lost like 30 builds. They're just
dire there, but not forced to use it. That was the this trio kind of kicking off that lobby focus.
Alright, let's watch these people looking. Blake, oh, we don't spectate this guy. Oh, chat, end game is good. I'm going crazy. We have summer break, but I have summer school. Oh, rip, man.
We're looking to get a piece of that high ground.
Summer school is kind of crazy.
Well positioned above the threshold.
Well, don't be summer break, though. 800 above. Oh, they're so chilling. They're so chilling right now.
Very consistently thus far. Great start to this end game.
Our Foils team, Majors.
Acorn, though, not looking good for the team.
Isolams, Agers is actually cooking right now.
Bails his team out of a terrible situation here. Siphon kicks in for everyone.
Siphon does.
Yeah, that was Dave, Boji, and Jack that just went down.
Well,
and this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you may think you're safe, but somebody's creeping around.
Alright, we're spectating Biggest team again. We're spectating Man City. Breaking those trees down, you know? We gotta break those trees.
And as soon as they reach the edge, but she's looking back, trying to hold up every single one of these teams.
And you're seeing exactly why. Oh, 30 in the ball. Oh, I gotta launch
threshold. And so they're focusing any
single
person that they can.
There is always problems. Yeah.
You know, again, they're
problems.
B rank at best, right? So
it only is the issue.
You know, opportunity for them to really hit those hero chests and kind of get the big miss.
Well, I gotta go. Alright, man.
So we'll see how they
play. Thanks for joining.
More or less scrappy loot.
Have a great day. Thank you for joining, man. I'm sorry your account got fans.
They've got options and opportunities.
Summer break, bro.
Fights breaking down all on the outskirts.
I respect 2 AMGs. G Money and Rise.
Here through their rotate. They haven't caught a break.
50?
These teams that have landed on them, but defense looking very, very well. This form.
Chat, I might spectate all games.
I was going to say, you don't want to be
we'll see.
between all these boxes. Smart play for Reed there.
Basically in the island rotation.
Oh, respect Muga.
All the way from
Outpost
Lock in, man. They gotta have one of the farthest
we don't want to go below
in the lobby so far.
Chat, yo.
And to be able to find
I don't know if y'all remember this, but y'all remember when Peter was below and they were trying to rush the scene and hit sold the entire
all the way towards Shining Shaft from the east to the west. And that's where you're hoping you have some sort of mobility, whether it's the gas sprite, the surf cube, or that misform.
Yeah, most teams on the move now. The VG money.
Okay. He picked it out of ball, bro. Hook him, man.
Right now. Another team falls beneath them, just cracking under pressure here in the end game. Recharging up these dashes now. Might be the last of what they had left from the dash right there. Brett's Muga and Freeze also ready to kind of go here.
This looks like 660
bubble
getting tagged
cooking
up. He makes
700
zone. Agers continuously looking back.
Cooking. Agers, I was expecting Agers.
Two teams struggle to make their way in, and the Memory Smoke is a huge sign of weakness as Void takes a ton of damage, forced to pause there in his step. He's not even at the zone just yet. Luckily for him, power is there, but that luck has run out. Forced to abandon, power getting chipped down. Xander cannot come to help him. He's not just yet.
Jackson
is going to get taken down as well. The firing squad from Poyo's Acorn Agers claim another one.
Violet TK Larson getting busy here on the outskirts of the zone once again, just opting to stay on these outer edges, wait for teams to kind of come to them for that cheeky damage here. Plenty of time to fight here and now, but no, they're just gonna chill out, go and replenish these dashes.
Oh, there's a lot of people.
Meanwhile, high
Oh,
ground's
wait.
taking
And name it since
shape right
Shiny?
now. Hound, Aiden,
Oh,
and Krillian
rip.
gonna be the first to go ahead and
Jeez.
situate up for this endgame here.
Oh,
Look at
respecting
the
Aiden's
commitment
team.
from the metal right now. So they wanna go ahead and hold this high take.
This could be right now Brilliant's first FNCS Grand Finals appearance if they could somehow clutch it. Aiden and Hound, they play duos. They have the chemistry. They have the history on their side, and they have the high ground as well.
Good
So you gotta be careful that misform could change things at a moment's notice.
Come
But 61
on.
below the damage threshold.
Okay, you're going to need this. You're going to need to get limbs.
It's just a teeter-totter of emotion running through these players, but it finally slows down and get 100 above. That's gonna be a big find for them. Race gets the elimination on a 20.
And you saw
900 above. They're so
here it goes. The tier 1 teams now starting to pick up those key items that can really change the end game dynamic here by TK and Larson, though, opting to play the low ground here. So far, this strategy has not gone astray for them. They have played perfect rotations here, but sorry, I'm in their side.
I did not mean to do that, bro. What am I doing?
A lot of space for the host, but would be just
Spectating
time
Foil
when
again.
the Asia started to cook up here. The last we saw them, they were looking pretty desperate, but they have clawed their way right back into this game right now.
Alright, spectators.
And you're seeing the
1K above. We're cooking, bro. 2 more zones. And we just gotta cook, bro.
Big pot, 100, the money rise on the Hyla. They were able to get a knock on the one. Hyla's trying to backtrack in towards the zone. Give himself some time to
Bro, why is the coil so bad?
Time for him to make
Oh,
that
he
decision.
needs to be a lot more better.
Alright,
we got TK. Everybody's got there's like 50 people in this game. Already, actually.
Here goes the fight.
So we're in the top 10, basically.
Go for it, Krillian. How did Aiden lose the high ground for a second there? Diego, Blake, and Oliver. The more experienced trio managed to time it. Hound to force the low ground here. So close yet so far from a victory royale. Now they're gonna
Oh, they got the exotic Hulk, jeez.
denies that opportunity though. Krillian falls, Aiden falls. All up to Hound. Meanwhile,
GG's, man. Yeah, they're fucking.
now. And they're taking full advantage of that. Misform play.
Oh,
Or sorry,
well, they died of
zone there.
surge.
This is all sort of
Jeez.
collapse now, Jacob.
This is just a chaotic endgame. Everybody's just getting destroyed by
Chaotic.
the zone. It went up the mountain, down the
Chaotic,
side. So if you weren't planning ahead,
Like, it
you're
was like
probably
30
back in the lobby
people.
watching all this
Like,
one
30
play out.
seconds later, it was now
He
20
lost
lots.
his
Jeez.
teammate. He lost the high ground.
It's
He
all
gained
those.
an opportunity to tell his story here late in the game. Even with Vert getting cleaned up, G Money Rise, they continue to steamroll through trio after trio here.
I mean, these are big
Alright,
points right
respecting
now.
Coil.
Acorn,
Well, that's cooking right now.
Kings of the low ground now. Oliver and GM come down. They're trying to get the action here. Looking to seal up the win here, but no team
Oh, might be the best player of all time.
Resistance to Koyo and Acorn down on the low ground. Rise of even G Money though. Starting to fall apart here. Playing as a duo. Hit to hit right now. It's all going to come down to timing here now. If they misplay this, they can still lose this game. Oliver taking that unfortunate damage for the storm here, but Koyo is cooking.
I still win. Oh, wait. Foil might win. Wait, chat. Foil might win. They lost again. Foil might win. Chat, Foil might win. Second place. Please, Oliver OG versus Foil. Versus Foil's team. What?
But he does not find any success there. Scrambling all around. Diego is trying to put the pressure on the Agers. They have healed off.
Oh, Blake died. Wait, who's winning? Oh, wait, who's winning this? GG's Oliver OG, man. GG's Oliver OG's team. Chat, they fall to the finals. GG's.
Yep.
They were going to be a shoot in an A.
They qual.
Oliver OG flexing.
Because if you qual,
in an FNCS lobby,
because if they qual, if they win, they get qualified to the finals. So they're going to the finals. GG's.
What a game to go and kick this one off, Jacob.
Yeah, we saw a lot of our heavy hitters playing low ground throughout the course of that game. And there was only 2 teams that even played for height. Diego, Blake, and Oliver OG was the second team, and they were the ones who solidified that victory royale and granted themselves a spot into the Major 3 Grand Finals. Kelly, Vivid, I know it's only the first game, but what are your thoughts?
Yes, Blake. Yes, Blake. That's what I like that right there. That's what I like to see. Oh my gosh, they secured themselves a spot in the grand finals of major number 3, and they will look to compete for one of the spots for the global championship. Oh my gosh. If you are looking at Diego's inventory there at the very end, bro, they've got nothing, and they still come out on top. I was scared, guys. I'll admit, I looked over when we swapped the POV, and then like 15 lives. I was like, well, yeah, that's fine. Game number 1, we can give it to him. And then Oliver OG, Diego Play said, no, hold on, just wait, just watch.
Yeah, a great high take from them as well as you're watching right here. Just very clean, very smooth, and it's showcasing what those tapes can do. Oliver OG, Blake, and the Diego playing the high ground so well. Not playing too aggressively. I think a lot of players in this case like to drop down, grab a bunch of refreshes, and we can see how low Diego is on that here. But they don't fret, they play it smooth and safely, and they know 3v2, even against the likes of Koyo and Agers, you just have to play patiently, and that's exactly what we saw from this trio.
Incredible timing there for Blake, Oliver, and Diego. Usually when you have a meta like this, there's so many mobility items that kind of make it easy for you to go up vertically, kind of contest the high ground. We have to see those high ground teams so have to separate themselves with a bunch of, space between them and the second height, but right there they slipped up just a little bit. Hounds Trio on the high ground got a little bit too close to that second layer, and Blake, Oliver, OG, and Diego instantly took advantage.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see them compete in the final. It's so sick. Now, of course, I just want more Fortnite action. But first, a short break. When we return, we pick back up with game number 2. So, stay tuned.
Robux. Robux.
Watching clicks?
Yeah. Let's get replay. Calixto's not in this match. Alright, chat. I'll be right back.
If you miss, you gon' regret it. Before you crawl, know I'm running it all. I'm built up like a pharaoh, now they praying that I fall. Through shadows, been burning through these battles. No weakness in my body, need to know you better ask somebody. Already, I consume the petty, it's plenty. I leave a penny for thoughts about how I'm living. Ay, turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, it's a rap, got the match built like a pro. You know the legends go, harder than audio. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, me off the top, no way. I came and called my name. I gave my life into my place, earned everything that I claimed. Nothing ever could replace me. 3-4-3-4, square dance on the floor. This is not a ball, I'm above it all. Start, I see my glow up, where you supposed to go. Post it on the low, can't lose and find the go. Leave me in the zone, I take your mind and then I smash your soul. Turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, I get it, they love my whole aesthetic. They got so listen, told you this ain't hypothetical. Answer the call, prove this once and for all. Can't reach me with an arrow, summer nights I never fall. No cattle, the goat don't wear a saddle. Go riders off my body, cut them off, they acting sloppy. Already, I consume the petty. The vision's 2020, believe your eyes are winning. Turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, it's a rap, got the match built like a pro. You know the legends go, harder than audio. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, the track going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. We just wrapped up game number 1, and man, it was a wild one. Of course, there's a couple things that happened in that game, like I don't know, Acorn, Agers, and Poyo just going absolutely ham in that game. Oh my gosh. What was their total? How many eliminations did they end up with? Because again, we kind of went into those final few moments. And again, when we jump over to Poyo and I'm like, bro, this guy's just got it all. He's got medallion. This is an easy GG, right? They don't manage to get the victory royale, but guys, these guys are 100% in first place as far as consistency is concerned.
You know, I've been watching their streams over the last few weeks and through the play-ins, and something that Acorn said during one of these games where in first moving, he's like, oh, everyone stays to the front of zone, we need to change the meta. And I've kind of noticed that when they are on the low ground, they actually kind of stay towards the side, maybe even in the middle, where they allow a lot of these other teams to kind of rotate in front of them, and that's why they're able to get so many eliminations. And not until they're kind of aware of where everyone else is on the low ground do they push for that front zone. So I'm loving these adjustments. I'm loving the awareness that this has, and that obviously comes from Acorn being one of the smartest IGLs in all of Fortnite, and to have him with Poyo and Agers, these incredible fraggers. The only thing that hurts me is that we got to see some dig on dig crime. Of course, Acorn and Oliver OG, you know, when the organizations go up against each other, it's a bittersweet moment, but what a great moment that was, Vivid.
I mean, you want to talk about moments, right? There was a game-defining moment for this trio. It was definitely their eliminations on today, right? MDF and Jacob were talking about it. As soon as we kind of tuned into their POV at the start of that fight, they were like, whoa, these guys are not looking good at all. And then a couple seconds later, boom, they pick up the eliminations, they pick up the refresh, and they just went ahead with that momentum. I mean, 17 total eliminations, picking up that second place after our casters are kind of able to kind of tune in and be like, whoa, they're not looking so good. Turn it into that kind of a game. Incredible stuff from the trio.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, of course, on the other side though, right? You've got Aviv, you got G-Money, you got Rise. They didn't get 17, but third place in 12 eliminations. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know what about this meta is making like these trios just say like, we're going to find every elimination. We're going to get every single one possible. But, you know, it is so exciting to see. And again, like, you know, all of these tiny little interactions, eliminating a player, taking their stuff, suddenly an impact, suddenly a new weapon, ammo, materials, whatever it is, like that moment to moment right now is just so unbelievably exciting to me, Kelly.
Yeah, that Sentinel pump in the right hands can just end up with a double
We're back.
elimination.
It's supposed to be a movie. I was AFK. It's not. This is a tournament watch.
So well in that end game, giving Aviv just all of the gas that he needed to go hard. And you know, Rise money, they were doing that situation, but going and continuing to thrive in that situation where you don't really know the chaos is going on around you. How are you able to survive? Where should you be positioning yourself in the end game? Well, this duo right here handled that with just great ability.
And kind of checking out those highlights from that game right there, actually able to notice that it's actually around the same time, 7th zone, similar to kind of Acorn's trio, where they looked like they were not doing so well either, right? We kind of tuned into Aviv's trail earlier on throughout the game, and it was like, whoa, they're racking up eliminations very, very easy. Can't believe they weren't the trio with the most eliminations in that game, all things kind of considered, because they were so down like 7th, 6th zone. They had to keep playing aggressive, but it just worked out for them.
They're trying to hit that S rank. They're like, all right, that's pretty good stuff to me. I did want to highlight quickly 5th place Taki Isho and Vert. We kind of talked about that at the start of the show, right? And to see them kind of, you know, this is a really good starting place, right? We just need to keep this momentum moving forward. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. We can't, of course, make any mistakes, right? We make a single slip up, a single, you know, we get sent back to a lobby type situation, and so we can find ourselves outside of that top 5. But this is a great start, Kelly.
Yeah, no, I honestly think with just one game done, that there's still so much opportunity for Taki Isho and for all of our trios, honestly, to kind of make these micro adjustments that we talk about, potentially look at what they did wrong over the last game or last few games as we continue on throughout the day. So even though they're in 5th place, which is a good position to be in for group stages, I don't think that there's too much
Sorry for the delay. No, it's fine.
Kind of crazy as well how brutal this
I'm back. Yeah, welcome back.
It keeps people alive for so long because of the meds.
Chat, if I go AFK, I keep the stream.
Makes it really easy. It just makes placement points very, very hard to get as well. Like Buka's trio
I'm
not
back and
finding
I'm
themselves
going.
in the top 10 on the consistency leaderboard, even though they were alive in like 11th zone. Super brutal.
Yeah, I mean, they're currently sitting in 13th place, right? So I like to call that. Let's keep our eyes on that over these next few games. Now remember, we only have 5, which means we have 4 left to go before we close group number 1. So we can't skip a beat. Let's get ready to jump back into the action. MDF, over to you. Thank you. And
Early
yes, I
beta
think that we're
boys.
seeing the early glimpse of how the new end games are going to start taking form in these higher tier lobbies, Jacob. A lot of players seem to be able to go the distance now, all thanks to all the opportunities, the heals, the med miss, the miss form, right? There's so many ways to do that.
Yeah, throughout the course of that game, I was even thinking to myself, man, placement points got to be huge right now. It was still 14 teams still up. Some of them is probably solos, some of them probably duos, but it's the miss form that is truly key. And it really goes to show, man, just heals, 2 med kits, maybe a med miss smoke can really change the difference between top 14 and a top 8. And that's where half of the placement points are at.
Yeah, well, clearly Oliver OG and team are going to be happy now. They're going straight to the grands. It's all up to the rest now to try to pull in a victory royale. Let's talk about the dynamic changes here really quickly. We're tearing into the next game. When you win, you are done. There's a new spot now that's going to open up here. So we'll see as we jump into game number 2.
With proven success from that drop spot already, Monster, we'll see if anybody is daring enough to switch it up. Already a victory royale, and I think most of the community thought Oliver, Blake, and Diego was going to make it in, but more so on the side of consistency. And when I have that in the back of my head, if I'm one of those teams that is in a contested drop, maybe I start to move my way over there. If not this game, probably games 3 or 4.
I mean, Aiden, Hound, and Carillion had high ground early. They were the first to take it, invested all their metal, and still raised themselves many layers above the rest of the teams. But somehow, some way, Oliver OG's team still managed to get up to high ground and contest them and give them a run for their money. So it was, I think, really well fought for, right? And earned, honestly.
Yeah, and I thought more teams would probably be going for high ground. I think that's something we're going to see as the games do continue on. Only so many teams can survive down below, but back at the resistance base, a contested fight that we saw early on in game number 1 kind of settled in one direction, and already an early down going way. Fight in game number 1 and back-to-back eliminations.
Don't jump on the bunk bed though. Don't jump it off. Don't jump off of that. Chat, I'm just gonna let you guys know. Go AFK and eat
one of those first
dinner.
teams, of course, looking to try to see if they can
might come back. I don't know. I'm AFK. Eat. Right. AFK. Might come back. I might just do an AFK stream of this. I have to go stream to that 3 hours. Yeah, don't jump up to your bunk bed though.
I feel like I can almost hear the team comms.
Don't jump off of it. Don't jump off.
I know it's a split drop, especially after game 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Sorry, but I'm still doing the chat though.
Trying to steal some of these pieces away, find success in a short moment. Sale has to be able to get this damage there. TK gets tagged up just a little bit. He's forced to back up and cower down as Larson does go down. That's a 2v1 situation now with him being last island. What's to say, TK was able to escape, but another third-party monster.
Yeah, but you can't miss those tags. Mafia techs now show up fast before TK can even really process what happens, it seems like. They're looking. They have an inkling of where he is. There's only so many options you can get to. TK hit for 90 and then the finish there. And a quick finish for them. All that momentum they built out of game 1 now deleted as they are forced to kind of play towards the later half of the tournament here. Only 5 games, Jacob. Losing 1 really sets you back, even on overall points as well.
And interesting to see, because that team that kind of pushed over towards Lone Wolf Lair, they were originally planning on going towards first order base, so either they made a quick rotation monster or they switched things up, which is working out for them. BJ Baloney at September 19th. Going up against a fight here, but even though you kind of see this full fight breaking down 3v3 from high ground to low ground, Turbulence going for a knock onto 1, you can kind of see on the outskirts of this fight a third party waiting for it all to play out so they can kind of take what they hope to steal away from the winner of this fight.
Interesting about this fight is, you know, the first game we was able to tell very clearly the teams were deciding, maybe it's not worth finishing. This time, no. Much different story. They're pushing it through to the end, and then you have Boogeyman sneaking up right now. So for one team wipe, looking to get into the next one. They've heard the shots. They see what's going on here. But it seems like the team's already hunting down the 1 solo left, and don't even know what's going on right now. The 3, 2, 1 here, Jacob.
It's an interesting decision, too. A lot of strategies so far from the couple teams that we saw already kind of changing up. Because in game 1, they won their off-spawn fight. They looted resistance space. The zone was relatively close, and they played the rest of the game at normal. They probably saw something throughout that course of the game 1. The contested fight going on over towards their west, and they're looking to try to take advantage of it, but nobody's rotating in that direction. I feel like for Boogeyman, Quick, and Pay, they just got to continue on with the rest of the game, just like they did in the first one.
Another team lurking right here. Oh, the missed shot. Can't miss those tags right there. That ambush foiled now. Zonda gets away. Power FN already has the high ground here, looking backwards now. Okay, Kuiperson, Luckin' Dog. Probably gonna have to give this one up right now. Missed opportunities, big time right here. We'll come back around and check their damage later as the surge turns on. We'll see if we find them below. We'll know why. For Drizzy, Liam, and Madden, though, trying to make up for that mid-game fault that they had last time.
I want to say it almost seems like it could be a similar zone for the most part, even though it does have a little bit more of an eastern lean. You see it moving down towards Pump Power, maybe in Utopia, as Naves gets tagged from 2 different angles, caught off guard in that split second, trying to heal up. Hopefully his teammates are there to alleviate some of the pressure. Alo's trying to do just that, landing some shots on Brazi down below. He has that ultimate high ground, and he's going to try to pressure these teams, allow for some time to Naves to actually heal up without the thought of anybody trying to pressure that box. And nobody, in theory, this is such an isolated fight because you see it's kind of pushing in from Shogun Solitude just past Candid's Crossing at the peak of this mountaintop where you have a launch pad as well. So there's not going to be any third parties rushing in to try to take this position or steal this fight away. At the worst, maybe somebody looking off into the distance. That's going to allow exactly what we're seeing here. A lot of flexibility for both of these teams to try to disengage off this mountain and rotate into the zone.
Funnily enough, though, both teams thinking the same exact thing. Like, just kind of give it up. Look, Brazil, Cinema, they still think the trio's up top, but we've kind of already gone. Back to the Crime City, though. Power Blue, Zonda. Probably not finding tags off that surge base. Now they're saying, hey, whatever happened to that team that was in the city with us? They turn back and they find them. Hyper's just going to fall here. And their whole entire plan is starting to crumble. OK has a chance, though, to kind of turn this back around, turn this into a 2v2.
He did get a knock. That's the difference maker. It looks like he was going to try to hide, play hero when his teammate did go down, but him getting that knock kind of changed up the entire course of this fight. Now Blue and Power are looking at how are we going to save Zonda? How are we going to keep him into the game? Focake with another angle, but he only has the DMR, so there's not a lot of pressure Focake can put down single-handedly.
Oh, but Lucky Dog's here, but no, shots from the distance. They're going to kill every opportunity they had. Kind of turn this around, and Power gets a shield crack, and Luckin doesn't put the builds down. Oh, no. And then the team in the distance snipes one of them as well.
Unfortunate circumstances going down. This is the problem we talk about, especially one of these contested POIs. The third parties coming in from Predator's Peak, Luke, Phoenix, and Pandas. They're able to get the elimination over towards the resistance base. And this is a team that didn't even land here initially. They went back towards the resistance base, trying to get whatever loot is left on over, and they ended up landing against the team of Quick, Pay, and Peace. They get the elimination, and now they basically double up their loot.
Well, stood around longer than they should have. Look at that. Clean finish off the Pay, right into the box. Fearless for Venox. Remember Boogeyman and Pay, they had the trio elimination, and then they were trying to lurk, catch another team off guard, and instead, irony attacks here as they end up being the team ambushed on.
Back to the game plan as usual. Just going to take a quick peek. There's not too many teams contesting that island, so it's going to go uncontested Agers, Acorn, and Pollo yet again. Following in the same blueprint of their game number 1. They weren't able to get the win, but 17 eliminations, Monster. Another game like that, they might have top 5 locked and loaded, ready to go. Still got to play it out. On the other side of the map, you're seeing A fall from grace or an attempt at it. They're just trying to chop down the high ground, so that way it becomes an easier battle that they think they could take.
A lot of mats committed there too, but is that a second? We jump in with Tex. Heyy in Mafia right now. Great shield crack here on the bait. Well, this team's got them cut off on the second layer too, but Mafia falls by the shotgun of Moncadios on the other side of the wall. Bait though, there it is. The exchange. Heyy gets the follow-up, and there's the full finish. They're going to have to play for the save here shortly, but there's another team lurking nearby. Pressure's on now to perform here.
Please, Monster, you correct me. Anybody in chat that's watching, correct. Is this the most fighting we've seen in a group stage ever to start a tournament off? From game 1 to game 2, it just feels like they're just endless. Teeks, Heyy, they're the last alive. Mafia's not there. I bet you they got their reboot card, but they need to figure out a way to disengage. And it just got even harder because there's another third-party team moving in to try to close the distance. Teeks does go down, so it's all going to be up to his teammate, the last alive on their team, to try to get these cards and reboot them back into the game.
Yeah, look, it could be, you know, attributed to the lack of cash cuts this season, right? Like we said, not too many set lobby chances to really get it in. So what you're seeing could just be the raw, unfiltered take at these games. Teams seem to be getting caught completely off guard left and right inside of the storms here. And then so many ways to push, right? You got all these dashes, misforms, and it just seems like confidence at an all-time high.
Then you add in stuff like this, the Med Miss Smoke, where it's kind of your entire team can carry a stack of 2 and make sure everybody stays alive for so long. Gray is trying to escape, but he knows it's eventually going to be over. If he doesn't find himself with elimination, he did his best, but he's going to fall short of the marker. Luckily for him, though, just leaving the minimap on the eastern edge. You see Core just trying to escape. There is a launch pad there. There's a lot of different mobility in the game that we were talking about. So hopefully for him, he has some HP to regain, whether it's med kits, Chug Chug, or Med Miss Smoke, to try to get his team back in the game.
Well, nicely played for them. Jumping back to some of the big boys in the lobby. The vets here, Booga, Brazen Threats, falling short last game in that end game. Again, 13th place with how much time alive they attributed to that round really shows the difference, the significance of misform, med miss, and all the other, you know, mobility items that you have available and at your disposal here. Now we're getting to see how the misform can be used for the W key as Vert, Escher, and Taki get a knock and immediately collapse in. Looking to burn that first misform there. Absolutely worth it. They secure the loot here. This is at the center of the Shining Span now.
This could be good control for them, too, depending on where the zone continues to move. There's no outskirts. There's no edge of zone currently here at Shining Span. We have seen in Majors Pass 1 and 2, zones go over towards Shining Span. Whoever's the one that's brave enough to kind of claim the top of that bridge usually ends up performing well, as Woods just kind of get 3-2-1 by the entire trio. He's going to fall. They immediately use that misform to close the distance.
No one missed the shot there. He fell before he could even react.
Get punished, and then you see them passing around the medallion like a hot potato. You get shield, and that's how a team like this over towards Demon's Domain is able to kind of make it far into the game. They're not forced to use a lot of their resources, so that way the minis, they're able to keep them longer and longer in towards the end game where they make more of an impact, especially if you're taking damage, pressured from all around. Just outside Lone Wolf layer, Turbulence, Amen, Lucky T, they're able to survive using every single resource at their disposal just in order to just get that revive. They do have the Med Miss Smoke, but now is where they got to start thinking. The zone is pulling so far away of where they're currently at, all the way towards the eastern edge. They have to make that a focal point from here on out.
Good use of this surf cube here. I mean, you get a lot of distance out of this. Lucky's going to go ahead and... Looks like he's seemingly getting back to some old loot there, but I'll catch up with them in a second. As, again, got to get to the safety first. Guard, Havoc, and Silic by the Kappa Kappa factory. See that stat right there. Silic and Jargu both played their first FNCS finals last season, placing 21st. Let's see how much they've managed to learn in their end-game high-tier lobbies.
So those edge fights right now just out of Demon's domain. Two teams currently battling it out, 3v3. Electro and his trio versus Jackson and his trio, but there's a whole nother one coming out of Demon's domain and a solo player just towards the east. So the longer this fight goes, the harder it's going to be because they're using so much material, which you could already see they don't have a lot of. 3 points so far, that coming from eliminations in game number 1. That puts a lot of pressure on them to survive. So that way they don't have those mental kind of roadblocks throughout the rest of the tournament.
Both sides kind of poising up, just looking for an opportunity, but this low fire rate rifles here not really giving them that quick advantage they're looking for. Jack's got to be careful though, losing the walls there.
I would say they kind of got blessed there in a moment. Zone didn't pull too far away, so they don't have too much distance to cover after this one's over, but they're just kind of getting the map burnt away, trying to create some extra space. That's Jackson on that side. Smoss, Electro, King Beast, they're just trying to hold their position here. They're feeling confident playing their game. They haven't moved too far away from where the fight actually started. That way they can run in and out of their builds if things get tough.
Yeah, Beast's not happy with them kind of claiming that extra territory to play with. You can see him inching his way in now. Might just be a matter of time before the surge goes and gives the update to the lobby. They don't know what they need to do at that moment. G-Money Rising Beef, though, on the move right now. At the center of the next zone here. Got themselves a little bit of a position. Max material as well. Here's that warning we talked about, but no damage problems for this trio.
Looking back, that's kind of where their two trios were fighting back there. One trio is going to be above, more towards the eastern edge. Smoss, Beast, and Electro. And not out of zone just yet, but they're holding on to the high ground. That way, when that team rotates on out, they can try to get damage, but they became hunted by a whole nother team, and they find themselves 200 plus below that damage threshold, and now they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling the timing on their back that they have to start to react here, because every 5-7 seconds, 25 damage when Storm Surge activates, and you don't want to just blow through all of your heals this early in the game.
Acorn and Boyo not content with that low ground push they try to make onto Icy's trio there. Seems like too many other teams are starting to set up all around them. Gonna have to give that one up here. Zone's gonna pull past Utopia now. Meanwhile, Smoss, I mean, the surge is gonna turn on here. They're below. We saw them kind of in that standoff. I think they were trying to feel out their damage, but you could see it, they did not have enough. Cinnamon gets collapsed on the aggression is real, but Beast falls first. Smalls there to back it up. Jax, Brazil, and Cine just hitting the shots that matter most.
Team is still active. Surge. Smoss goes down to power, which is a whole nother team. Both teams above the damage threshold, over 600. And a far zone pull going over towards Utopia, maybe even further. I hinted at Shining Span being a possibility monster. I didn't think it would actually go all the way over there. So I think about the teams that were already on that side of the map. Taki, Ishao, Vert, Booga, Crazed, Threads that lands towards Utopia. So if you were kind of here and hedged your bets, you got to be one of the most better positioned teams in the game so far.
Oh, most definitely. And then look at that body of water, right? This is going to play a lot of dynamic in this end game here. It's going to start to influence these teams to start piling up on these outskirts here. It's really going to cause strong funnels. No threats, though. What happened here? Just Crazy and Booga up right now. They're trying to keep a low profile, though. Notice they're kind of below this indestructible, cliff edge right there, keeping the tree up from the other trio, so they really don't want to attract attention right now. Seems like Booga and Crazy are trying to play for endgame here. Almost strictly consistency. Acorn, Boyo, and Agers doing somewhat similar, but they've got themselves their eyes on the prize for other teams. Look at this. They fall from below the surge now. They were 400 above just in the last zone. Booga gets tagged there. This might be the signal to kick this off. You know, there was only 2 teams, and here comes the chase.
because of that medallion, they know exactly who's pushing them right now through the 2 situation. Pollo feeling more and more confident, but now Storm Surge is active. Around every 7 seconds, 25 damage will tick onto these players, and the kicker on top of that monster, they don't go down. You get straight eliminated by Storm Surge if it activates.
But you see how good the misform is right there. Allowing Booga and Craze to actually escape and now rotate straight to the next zone there. Narrowly getting away from Aegis, Acorn, and Pollo, who are desperate here and now. You wouldn't expect a team this good to be under the surge here for game 2, but they have plenty of room to play with Acorn on the lead here, looking to kind of cut them off. Aegis trying to back him up, but no, gets tagged in return there. Here comes the misform. Acorn falls there, getting grief for the damage. And still, even with all that, they're still underneath.
Pass around the medallion. Good play by Pollo to drop down the Medma smoke to keep Aegis alive a little bit longer, but Storm Surge is just eating them alive. 33 below the damage threshold. Even though they've isolated this fight against that team that is going to be right below them, it has not gotten easier any step of the way through. 1 damage still below the threshold, and for now, Storm Surge will deactivate, but they got about 40 seconds to get above that threshold.
Nice. Pollo finding a knock right there. That's huge. That should be enough. He needs to get this finish too. And a 149. What a crack right there. Really showing you guys why Pollo is that guy. Hold up though. He's not done. There's the finish he's looking for. Okay, so they're right back in it like they never left here. Hold up. He countered and it comes through. No. Caught off guard there. Pollo falls. Storm's doing way too much damage. Aegis actually has to leave him behind. Jacob, this all goes downhill.
It's a real tough situation to be in, especially since Pollo not only had the medallion, but he had a bunch of HP heals as well, med kits.
Yeah.
The med miss smoke, that was exactly what they needed, and the materials on top. You see it how low on resources overall Aegis is. Couple of empty slots and less than 20 builds overall. You're seeing the struggles around the lobby. Taki, Ishao, Vert, much better position. They've been proactive throughout the course of this game, rotating south from their actual drop spot just to be first to every single one of these rotations. Seeing a replay of how they're getting all of that loot and more. They're able to get VNOX into the box. They clean that one up with ease before they go right back on to pushing out. Switch on over to V, G Money, and Rise. Yeah, that was good.
I mean, just back and forth right now. We're really seeing the action pick up here for game number 2. Look at this. Another update. Aegis finding minis. Who knows where, but he's got something to work with right now. Couple charges left in the misform here. That's going to be the difference in him actually earning some extra placement point here.
Sneaking around, finally gets spotted out. He has no build, so he can't even really protect himself, so he sets his eyes in the sky. You hear the birds going around, and that's where in the back of his mind, are they chasing me? Are they not? It does look like Booga and Craze continue rotating straight forward in towards the zone. They don't want to take too many risks, considering they already lost threats earlier into this game, but they still are able to take down Aegis.
Full circle moment there for Booga. He's the one who finds the tag onto Aegis there. Misform to go in and rotate out. More pressure coming through, and even with no threats in the lobby, pulling through here and now. But if VG Money and Rise are on the hunt right now, they find Craze. They wrap it up so fast there, and Booga can't misform out this time. He's gonna have to fight for this one. Doesn't escape fast enough. Just like that, G Money, Rise, and Aviv get their hands on their first misform. Very big pickup here.
Yeah, misform truly is going to be a difference maker, especially in the right hands. But for now, Crackley, Mikey, Rao, they're on the high ground. But we can see Night Zone already from game 1 just be a little bit too early for any team to feel safe, especially with the different mobility items in the game that can kind of steal it away in the blink of an eye. As Vert, Taki, Isha rotating towards the left side of the zone. They don't want to be on that ultimate low ground just yet. They know it's too chaotic down there with so many teams wreaking havoc.
Yeah, if you're Crackley's team who's holding high ground, you gotta start pressuring these mid-ground layers. Next textbook play, Ral FN seems like they get collapsed on by Taki, Ishu, and Vert. You blink and you missed it. Now they are in control of things here, and they're really starting to push through. Look at the big find here. Vert with the recap. Now max material. My gosh. They have everything they need to win this one here. Aiden, Hound, and Cerulean, though. talking about that last game and what went wrong this time. They say, no, we're going to play low grounds and mids. No need for height too soon here.
You can find a new misform. That's basically 4 extra charges. A lifeline there in the back pocket as a just in case. Avert, each out, Taki. They got the high ground, have not looked back. They continue to pressure every single team down below them. Does not want to let second height even think they have a chance, forcing them to burn through their match as G-Money, Rise, Aviv continue to dominate the low ground. 3rd elimination so far. They're trying to have that calm, cool, collected demeanor to make their way through the rest of this game.
So 20 players up here, 11 duos or trios, teams kind of mixed in this end game right now, and really showing you how much players are able to go the distance right now. One thing's for certain though, high ground is big chilling, and this is what happens when you get zone. They have so much mats to play with. Seems like just favoritism kicking in for them, but Broken Void and King find another knock here, but no, lose a teammate in the process. The lobby's starting to look back towards them, and he tries to get a little bit of his teammate's loot, but no chances, no time for it. And just like that, they're done and out. Aviv, G-Money, and Rise starting to look good for them. Aiden and Hound as a duo, playing very well here. There's the finish onto Liam. Misform here, still has a lot of options to play with.
Fortunate enough, those weren't his actual eliminations, so no side for him to keep him alive. Blue's already down. Zonda and Power trying to smoothly move through the low ground, but Power gets caught out at the tail end. Now Zonda's gonna be left by himself. A battle versus Day on the other side, and the tables have turned from being aggressed on to trying to run away, but he's still gonna go down. A bunch of these teams that we just saw in full getting torn apart, stuck as duos, stuck as solos, but in the clouds right now. Taki, Isha, and Bert, they have not been challenged. The Shining Span Bridge has been a huge thorn in every player on the low ground side.
Yeah, G-Money and Rise and Aviv playing very well low and mid-ground here. However, starting to run a little thin on the material counts. They're going to all drop back into the storm here. Okay, very interesting play right now. Popping Chug Jugs as a trio, then probably looking to misform, retake the high ground team. Oh, here it comes. Things are going to get very interesting here.
2 full trios and a duo, most of them crashing down below onto that low ground. Down goes Rise. Aviv is getting a little bit of redemption as he runs into 20 there. Great shot can be fired off as 20 goes down as well. That's going to be a wipe onto that trio, but you can see up above, they've just been waiting for this. They let them fight. They used it as a distraction. Now Taki, Bert, Icha are in full control.
They were just too patient, taking their time, recognizing that they shouldn't jump the gun too soon, and this is a win waiting for them to claim right here. A couple of mats, though, are left. Misform goes on up. Vert has to get contested here. It's all going to come down to this smart fight for G-Money to take, but Vert finds the tag to win the game.
That is a big game for them. The zone pulled over towards Shining Span early on. That's where they picked up some of the first eliminations of the game, and they set up shop from zone to zone from there on out. Monster, they didn't even waste their time going for high ground in the 8th zone, not even in the 9th, but it was the 10th zone. They timed it perfectly, knowing that team up there was wasting all of their resources.
Storybook finish for them. You know, you just can't emphasize the importance of that critical elimination at the Shining Span, giving them an abundance of material to play with, and then the zone pulling that way. It just doesn't get better. Look at it from their perspective. I mean, it just looked like easy walk for them in the park here. And really, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played smart, slow, and steady, because you saw Aviv and Rise trying to time the retake, but Ishu, Taki, and Vert played the smart and had a lot of high ground there, giving them that distance.
And this is where G-Money tried to contest, but it was too little, too late. 17th finals for Vert, for Taki and Ishao. This is going to be their 2nd appearance in the Major 3 Grand Final. Zeke, Kelly, Vivid, what do you guys think of all that action?
Guys, they treated this like a Grand Finals endgame, right? That's that sweet spot you want to be in when all over your screen, being able to find that calm in the storm and really zone in and just play your game has led them to now from game 1, right? They were 5th place going into that game, right? We were kind of talking about them before we went to that break, like, oh man, maybe, like, though they're on the edge, like maybe they just got to kind of keep going. Nah, they just turned around and said, hey, look, Victory Royale, let's just treat this like a Grand Finals lobby. Let's do what we need to do. And they come out with a win.
I mean, it was exactly what Jacob was talking about, where they saw the high ground around Zone 9, actually what we're watching right now, and just saw just kind of how shambles high ground was. No one was really claiming it for their own. So they were able to take that high ground just a little bit late, and not just take high ground, but also take it at a very low zone, I should say, where they had a lot of opportunity to kind of get eliminations towards the mid ground, grab those refreshes, and then be able to hold high ground for the rest of the game. And then they kind of just waited for the rest of the lobby to get those eliminations. I know that a lot of people say high ground wins games, low ground wins tournaments, but for, you know, the group stages, they don't need to worry about winning a tournament. They just need to worry about winning the game.
Yeah, I feel like everything Kelly just said right there could be, you know, you could put more emphasis on that, simply, you know, being the fact that it's like, oh wow, they took high ground early on, right? And we've seen some teams kind of fail to do that earlier on because it's just hard to maintain the materials kind of needed to do that. But again, we're talking about a team here that just made it to their second FNCS finals, right? Two of the players on this trio. That type of win that we just saw is something that we kind of expect out of like one of our more experienced teams, right? Like maybe like Acorn's trio would have won a game like that, right? Especially early on in the game. In the day, game number 2. So this trio, the story seems almost too good to be true sometimes, making it to their first FNCS final last major, following that up with a game like that to make it into the finals again. They look good.
You know, I've written a script or two, not a big deal. Anyway, let's go to a break. When we come back, only 3 games left to go before Group 1 closes, so stay tuned. You won't want to miss any of the action. Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. With 2 games down, we only have 3 left to go, but there's still plenty of action ahead of us. So let's talk about that last game, right? More chaotic than before, but still some amazing plays coming out. There was some hiccups along the way as well. We're looking at, you know, Aviv and company. Talk to me about this last game. What might have gone well, maybe bad? You know, what do you guys think?
I think that it wasn't necessarily bad for this trio. I think that they actually had a pretty good run through the mid game, or the end game there, staying on the mid ground. They do a really good job with this. They aren't like the other trios where they kind of stick to the ultimate low, especially when you're going over water. It's so risky to stay on that low ground, so they stuck to the mid ground. They were able to kind of get these little picks and eliminations here and there, but truly for me, it was the preparation that they had for the end game. They understood that they didn't have that many mats, so they need to make sure that they had a ton of heals for the end game, and that's what allowed them to survive close to the very end.
Yeah, I mean, how different are games 1 and 2 for this trio, right? Game 1, they were shambles, had low mats, 7th zone, had to keep playing aggressive, which led to so many eliminations for them in that game. And then we kind of tune in with them this game, and right, going into the end game, only 3 eliminations kind of in the 11th zone. Such a big difference. When we actually, you know, tuned in with them, I think it was around like 9th zone, they had 0 eliminations and plenty of mats. So played it completely differently throughout the middle game. Worked out perfectly. For sure, the most consistent trio right now.
Okay, I like it. And of course, because of that, remember, so if you look at those top points, right, 1,000 to 150, that just means it qualified, right? So right now, as we stand, Aviv, G-Money, Rise, they're technically in like first place, right? Currently looking really good. We wanted to highlight as well 7th place, Aiden, Carillion, and Hound in that last game, doing again, kind of the difference from game 1 to versus like game 2. These trios just really coming alive, right? Like, I don't know if it's that pressure. Maybe it's just like first game jitters, or like, who knows? Maybe going into first game, just like, let's just see what kind of happens. But game, 2 for this trio, very, very strong showing.
Yeah, especially with just kind of how weird that end game was. I do appreciate the fact that they were able to play it so well. And one of the there's only 2 players out of this trio that have actually made it into an FNCS Grand between Aiden and Hound. Carillion is one of the more green players that we have. So seeing him being able to kind of keep up with the rest of the players, although he did go down a little early, is definitely a great showing for the potential that he has going on into the future.
Yeah, also a way for them to kind of show off, hey, listen, first game, we were going for the high ground, didn't necessarily work out. Let's completely flip the script in that regard and go for the low ground right now. Now, of course, sometimes when you are forced into a duo situation to try to clutch up, you do kind of force yourself down, right, to kind of sneak about. But yeah, speaking about trios kind of going down and force themselves into peculiar situations, Agers, Acorn, and Pollo kind of going down extremely early that game. But I do gotta go ahead and say, Zeke, that the fact that they went down early in game number 2 and effectively got like almost like 0 points, like they had a couple eliminations, they're still in second place on that consistency leaderboard, right? It's just like one game. That game 1 was so good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, they could kind of have this weird game where we're against Surge and we're like just making plays, and you have games 1 where they give 17 elims in a second place. Like, I don't know what's going on, but who knows? Maybe they'll just say, all right, Zeke, we're just messing with you. We'll get a victory royale. We'll see. Game 3 is ready for us. So casters, take it away.
Yeah, don't let those points confuse you, right? When the 1,000 kicks in, that means they won, so you don't really have to worry about them anymore. It does matter about who's consistent afterwards.
Yeah, and I'm kind of using the EU as a blueprint earlier on today. It was 189 points to get into that top 5. Some of our teams are already close to that threshold, but others, there's still 3 games left. And I was kind of talking throughout the course of that game, there's so much action, not only through the end game, but throughout the entirety of the matches.
Yeah, and you know what? With game 3 here, I mean, there's only a couple more opportunities, Jacob.
Yeah, and hopefully, they really take it in stride. Acorn, Agers, Pollo, they're a team, whether they win the game or kind of continue through consistency. They have what it takes, and only a few points shy. But I'm looking at so many other teams, and with the battle bus ready to go, this is the 3rd game, the halfway point. So let's get into it. As I continue to kind of look down the list, it's rather stacked, from 8th place, 74, 72, 66. Mere difference is just a couple of eliminations. Staying alive from top 17 to top 12 could really play a pivotal role throughout game number 5 as we close out the day. But this is the halfway point, game 3. And so hopefully a lot of these teams really start to make these moments count.
Gotta make the moments count. Gotta make every single game earn you as much as possible, but hopefully pull that victory royale through. Again, and we talk about when you win the round, new draw spots open up, right? Teams get pushed out of the lobby, so there's less to worry about, which means you have more flexibility. If something isn't working, maybe you can kind of adjust your strategy. Jump into the Flooded Frogs, though. King, Void, and Broken in that same standoff as before. This time, it seems like Priscilla learning from the Game 2 error there, sticking with the team now. Opting to go ahead and play the opposite side and then, you know, kind of swing around, possibly rotate a little bit earlier here. Give themselves a true chance for game number 3.
Yeah, it's just the unfortunate thing is just kind of see the loadouts on one side from the other. Bunch of Sentinel pumps for Void, Broken, and King for the most part. Down below, it just kind of seems like a bunch of SMGs, ARs, kill switch revolvers. So it's not necessarily the best loadout from that split drop. The biggest thing that they do have on their side is the amount of shields that they do have, from minis to bigs, all of them effective 200 shield and HP.
Big moment right here, big opportunity. This is essentially the point in the tournament where you can still turn things around. After this, it becomes an uphill battle and really puts all the stress on pulling through with the Victory Royale. If you're a team like King, Void, and Broken, though, you've earned so many points. You just want to kind of coast to the end of the tournament at this point. Lucky Turbulence and Amen have to find something big here and now, but Lucky T gets crushed right there with the big tag. Baloney, BJ, and 919. Finds himself for the first time in the early game, kind of on the back foot here. Again, this is a fight we've seen now for the last 3 games, and it seems like the team to the north, is that Pay 14 potentially coming down pretty quickly? Yes, it is in their team. Last time, they missed the chance to get the ambush. This time, they're coming even sooner.
Yeah, they know they just can't let these damage opportunities, even if they don't get the eliminations, pass them. As Lucky T is able to get the drop on a 919. That's a quick elimination there. Just trying to wait, make sure his teammates are good before it all gets cleaned up as they pounce on the other 2 players that are going to be left alive. No big eliminations just yet. Here comes Pay, Quick, and Boogeyman. They close the distance in the blink of an eye, and now they have the high ground, which is a huge advantage in these types of fights.
Smart play here. Pay's going to go in the builds. A little risky for him, but gets the cutoff opportunity here onto Lucky. Now, looking for the sandwich. Pay playing the side angles here. Kind of the lurking opponent of this team here. Boogeyman, though, gets the first full hit there. Amin tries to go around. Not good. Boxed up. Sent back, and then Lucky, where are you going, buddy? It's over for him as well. As fast as it started, that fight concludes. To the south, though, TK's team seems to be hearing what's going off in the distance, possibly thinking about swinging on up. Meanwhile, Panda, Venos, and Luke come in with the Flooded Frogs, sticking to their strategy of coming through for fights, but this is the first time there's 6 players up still here. This fight never concluded.
Because of the sewer tunnels underneath, it's not going to be easy for anybody to really get too much of an advantage in some of these fights, especially if they continue to drop down below, but I might have spoke too soon. Does look like Priscilla does get locked. That's Ian, gets cleaned up by Luke. They move on over to try to get the rest, but all 3 of them back into the same box. Mafia, Shades, they're there as well. Their full trio is waiting on the other side of these builds, waiting to pounce.
Yeah, Mafia thinks he's not, you know, spotted out there, but no, this team has full awareness. Mafia might be the first to fall. He definitely is. Tex and Hades now has to turn this one around. Nice cone up, but Luke slips out the box with a dash. Well timed for him. Meanwhile, the low ground, Hades back against the wall, looking for Panda Season. Doing a great job here of fending off the team so far. They seem to be the better fighters, but counted up too soon here.
It's actually perfect usage by the dash right there. He got his P stolen away. He's able to dash, dodge the shot, stay alive a little bit longer. And this was a good opportunity for Teeks and Heyy. Even though they did lose their teammate Mafia, you have to know that there was so much damage there for them to clean it up. And that's why I liked how aggressive they were actually getting. But just a couple of seconds, that's all it took. They all kind of converged into the same box to make sure that they could heal up while a couple of them hold the pressure out. So that one's going to be a full disengage as Focate goes down. Hypers and Luck and Dog, they're still going to be left up. They're going for a straight revive play to try to save their teammates. But look at Monster, their material count, they are very, very low on resources.
Bad. This is just bad news here. Trying to stick the res. I can appreciate that, but Liam gets in there. Why not get the re-knock for good measure? Siphon kicks in there. That's going to keep him more than adequately healthy here. You know what? They're happy with the 1 knock somehow. The team slips away, though.
Uh-oh. Doesn't want to let him go away for too long. That's Faux Cake. Trying to survive, popping the minis. He knows the fight is going to be inevitable, so instead of trying to run, he's trying to use the little time that he has to at least get into fighting shape. Then a couple bunches back as he misforms straight up to the mountain yet again, but it's not going to be easy with the time it takes for that second charge to come out. Around 12-second cooldown on those charges to use the misform. Faux Cake, unfortunate enough, just was not able to create enough separation.
Crazy. If he would have just got up and over that mountain, he might have actually survived, but blocked out there. Meanwhile, on the other side, what's happening here? Eulogy and team kind of eyes on Pollo, Acorn, and Agers. Pollo, Acorn, and Agers playing this a bit differently now. I don't think they were happy with the lack of damage in the previous game. They're probably thinking to themselves, all right, guys, let's turn on the heat here.
As they don't find a fight, Liam, Madden, and Trio just continuously going from one to the next. It's a whole nother team. After they finish off, I think, an elimination onto Faux Cake. And now they're looking for more, and this is what Kelly was talking about, the AoE with those dash sprites. So now Madden's going to get 3 from somebody else's resources, seeing Woods run away, and that's going to allow them to easily close the distance with the dashes, the surf cube. Liam, I should be able to put pressure on the Woods here soon.
Surf cube would have been excellent right there to go ahead and kind of surprise Woods, but doesn't even need it. He's got his team kind of coming at all different angles. These could be eliminations that lead them straight to A rank right here, but hold up. Woods, though, putting up a good fight. Could have honestly turned the tide there for a second. Still healthy as well. 161, though. My gosh, the double shotgun shots here from Madden and Liam. Going to wrap that one up.
Wondering how a fight like this started. Oh, my, Madden with the DMR, 2 back-to-back headshots, just melting the HP and shield, getting the knock, and that kind of basically boosted up the confidence for them to push on over. Back on over to the resistance base side of the map, northwest, and you're seeing at least 4 teams directly here north of the resistance base, and you're seeing at least a solo player on the eastern side of the mini-map. So at least 5 teams kind of converged in this small location. It is in zone, so not too much to worry about just yet, Monster, but if it pulls away, it's going to be tough for this rotation to happen.
Yeah, that was a successful reboot onto Mafia there. So well played for them. They're kind of back in the game, but damage likely to be very, very dire. G-Money rising to Vive. Dash is ready to go. Fully in action mode here. Making her rotate. Pollo, Agers, and Acorn. No strangers to the storm this time, though. Again, looking for a bit more damage than they picked up last round. Oh, they're going straight for it.
Yeah, they know somebody's down there. And typically Canyons Crossing, if you're in Canyons Crossing at least, not necessarily landing here, it's almost like a sign of weakness, I should say. You're low on loot, you're looking for scraps, you may not have as much shield or mobility that you were hoping for up to the spot. And I think that's what's kind of building the confidence for Pollo, Agers, and Acorn in this situation. They just have to figure out exactly where they're at. You see the superhero rank, that's going to give them a couple of extra heals there at the bottom. If they have the med miss smoke, all teams can use them together.
I was gonna say, I like this though. Like, you got this team up top, kind of hidden out here. 2 med miss, ready to go. So a lot of options, but the moment they drop that, the gig is up.
And they know that's Pollo, Acorn, and Agers because of the medallion. Then I kind of agree with them. You know, wow. I tell people I don't play solos because you're gonna watch me hide in the cone. Well, sometimes hiding in the cone, Monster, is just the best option, especially
look at this.
When that medallion is there.
Look at the map. They allowed their teammate to even get knocked. They're like, nah, we rather res chain. We're not going to med miss. We're not going to show them where we're at all. And they wait to the very last second. That is hilarious, but also well played. It was the right decision, clearly.
Kind of almost brings me back to the last major where Peter would drop the medallion for Agers to try to contest clicks. These are the storylines that we're talking about major from major. These are the tricks underneath some of these teams' sleeves that they're waiting for. Group stage might be too early, Monster, you know as well as I do, to show absolutely everything, but at least we're getting a little bit of a tease of what we might see in the major 3 finals.
Oh, most definitely. There's going to be a lot of small, nuance and plays up the sleeves, especially when you start getting into grand finals lobbies, right? The roster changes. The best teams are in the best drops. There's different predictability at that point. Yeah, grand finals. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be crazy. But Acorn, Aegis, and Pollo keeping the pressure here now. We know exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get a fight going. They find Zonda here the moment they enter into the safety of this next area.
And one of the things I've noticed here, actually, that is drastically different from games 1 and 2 is you remember the island spawned over towards Foxy Floodgates. Agers, Pollo, Acorn signed up a line, kind of a triangle in different spots around those mountains and the island to get Surge. There is no island over towards Foxy Floodgates this time around, so they're going to have to change up their strategy. Instead of sitting on the island safe, shooting down for Surge, it looks like they're just taking a full 180. They're going aggressive. They're fighting team after team after team as they make their way towards that island.
Little hold happening here for Havoc, Jargo, and Silic. Team behind them, actually, they don't even have wind of that trio. They're focused more on the fact that G Money has high ground here on the mountain across from them. Still have yet to use that misform. Might have to if they don't want to burn through all these big shields here. See how it plays out for Jargo.
So bad. Reboot happened where you kind of think it's relatively safe over towards the top side of the map. But Booga, Craze threats, they always rotate on the slow edge of the zone. And that's where they were able to find 2 more eliminations. It's not a ton when it comes to that Storm Surge. That's 2 more eliminations worth of points, boosting them further and further up the leaderboard. Remember, it's win and you're in through 5 games or the top 5 on that leaderboard through consistency. So every single point matters. So that's a crucial find for them, even if they're not able to find that 3rd and final player.
All right, and that pushes them straight into A rank, as you can see there as well. So really set up for success here. Still opting to play this kind of outskirts. You can see off in the distance a player misforming. Not too pressed to push, but the tags are going to be welcome. Surely they've done enough. 4 elims is plenty of damage worth.
Oh no. Another one of these fights. And it's in the zone with some elevation towards Flooded Frogs. Got to be very, very careful. Exactly this will happen. Other teams inside of their bases are going to look over and see this as an opportunity to get some free damage, especially since they are so distracted. But quick boogeyman to pay. They separate themselves. Even though they try to attach themselves to that elevation, they pull themselves off a little bit because they know the threat of getting pushed is around the corner.
Yeah, Boogie Pay and Quick here definitely making the most out of this game. This is the, I think, furthest we've seen them coming into kind of a mid-game situation here, as their early games were a bit dicey. Threats, Craze, and Booga, though, waiting for storm sickness at this point. You better get out of here. It's gonna get sketchy. Oh, talking about sketch, though. Hold up. Big tags coming through. Where's the whites for threats? Hold up. There it is. Medmiss forced to come out here. That's earlier than they would have liked.
Like a different Pollo, Aegis, and Acorn as well. Continuing their aggressive story. They have the exotic Sentinel pump. And if you guys don't know, every time you hit a shot, it kind of goes between 1 or 2 abilities. It gives you kind of the pepper effect, or it slows your opponent down. And in the hands of someone like Pollo, being able to land multiple shots on multiple players throughout the course of a fight, those effects will kind of slow things down on your opponent's foot, kind of allow someone like Agers and Acorn probably to get that final elimination, the knock shot. So you're seeing a lot of the utility being grabbed from them, whether it's a mythic, exotic weapon. They have everything that they need and more.
Yeah, one of the best sound effects, too. Very rewarding. Hit a tag with that shoddy, but Day here coming online. Okay, not bad at all. A little knock to go ahead and give them some cushion to work with. Siphon's going to give him plenty of time to go ahead and decide what he wants to do with his loot here. Jack and Boji already on the move here, but they're a team lurking. Fliz kind of coming back here. OG absolutely spotted out. Oh, wait. That build there. A little bit of a troll for Darzi, giving away their position. So Boji on high alert after that one. Cut off. I like the play, but Jack and Day are coming back here to support. using the dash as well, so truly forced to commit here at this point.
Yeah, perfectly
Well,
timed. They were
fight.
trying to close the distance. They try to save their teammate. Exactly that. But there's a whole nother team. I'm not even sure they saw them as they kind of rotated in front of them. They know with the zone pulling further and further towards the north, even though there's not much distance with how stacked this side of the zone is, they're overall south because they're even rotating into a few more teams. The timing is definitely of the essence. They have over 700 damage above the threshold, so that's not going to be a worry in the back of their mind. But Boogie, Pixie, they're below, along with Avenger. One of them's going to get knocked and get above the damage threshold. They just need to figure out a way to slow things down and survive, though.
Yeah, they kind of have to take that fight. Look, this is a fight for storm damage here. That storm surge online, giving the warning. Zoom, Darcy, and Fliz needed it as well. What an opportunity for them where it was almost all over. That trio kind of collapsing in was the thing that they needed. Who would have thought? Meanwhile, Day and team off to the side, kind of watching it all go down. Trying to, I guess, analyze the situation, right? Feel it out. What all just unfolded? Where do these two teams come from?
Yeah, that positional awareness as well, kind of knowing where everybody's at, especially when these zones continue to pull towards the north and then a far eastern pull on top of that one. Knowing that everybody, including Pollo, Ages, and Acorn, that were positioned on the western side of the map is going to have to make that long rotation on over. And some are realizing also that timing is of the essence. You want to start to rotate quick, especially if you already have accumulated that storm surge throughout the course of that game, because you don't want to be one of those teams that's just held out by the majority of the lobby.
There are so many teams on the heels of Aegis, Acorn, and Pollo. No one has shot yet. That's how far this zone is. Everyone's like, all right, you know what? They don't know we're here. I'm good with that. Let's rotate. Finally now, Aegis, Acorn, and Pollo feel comfortable enough to start turning on the gas pedal. Coin dropped right there for the shields for Pollo. They gotta move though.
Did you see that stat that popped up? Did you see that stat? Throughout the entirety of Major 2, they didn't take a single hit of Storm Surge. Today alone, they've gotten 31 ticks of damage from Storm Surge. A huge change up of the game plan of Aegis, Acorn, and Pollo. Something you wouldn't necessarily expect, especially considering he's one of the best IGLs. Bait, Ian, Mikado's 175 below the damage threshold with active surge. Priscilla, instead of getting knocked, is going to go down. Bait's going to have to figure out something here, because he's now getting ticked by the zone itself and Storm Surge. Oh,
yeah,
no.
He couldn't survive much longer, it seems. Falls into Storm there. Hayden and Hal team are going to be the gatekeepers here on the edge. Peeking out, don't quite catch visuals onto Moncadios, but I mean, this player's 390 below. It's a matter of time. Let's just see who's going to go ahead and find this elimination here at this point. There it is. Aegis gets awarded.
Just peeking around at the right time, right-hand corner. And it was basically 2 eliminations worth of damage. Big hill to climb, but at least he can kind of rethink the strategy with the rest of the team for game number 4. 257 damage, though, above the threshold for TK, Byla, and Larson. 39 points so far. Not where they would have expected to be. But with this game and 2 more left to go, all it takes is one big moment, a couple of big plays, few eliminations to really change the difference. But 6 below for Luckin, Hypers, and Focake. They take a few ticks of that Storm Surge, and now it's just going to get exponentially harder if they don't find that damage.
I like the med miss play here, but Storm Surge is online. They got to make a play here now. This is bad. Nothing but bad intentions from Huga side too. See the shots coming in, the pressure's online. Great tag there. But already other players join in on the action here. The frenzy of shots and fire. Huga's team's going to be the first to secure loot. TK, Byla, and Larson, though, also below the surge. What all went wrong for them?
At least they're above now, 32. Playing the disaster down below, continuing to sneak in, but 98 above. They're figuring out a way to just get a sneak in, but 98 above. They're figuring out a way to just get a few shots to connect, even if it's not a massive confidence building. 2,000 damage above the threshold. Eliminations for them isn't even about surge, it's about resources.
A lot of mats fall in there. Isla, Larson, and TK find a refresh as well. And another team, what just unfolded for this squad is kind of going through enemy builds. That's the danger. Gotta be careful there. Bila levels up to his layer. And now all of a sudden, they're really in this game here. Zone's gonna pull further and further south though. Aegis, Boyo, and Acorn just master rotates here time and time again. This game really going in their favor so far. Seem to be in full control at the moment of the end game here. Another team is gonna fall to them. It's OG. Seems like it was just a matter of time. Jack caught there too. Day escapes, but for how much longer? Another miss as well. Here's Jacob.
They're just looking like they're just making up for that last game. I think they got relatively low points, if any at all, and they say, well, now we got to go ahead and get 2 games worth of points here. If not the victory royale, they can take the rest of the day off. As we look in the clouds, this figuratively and literally, it's Threats, Craze, and Booga. But the 8th zone monster, we've already seen it happen today. It might be entirely too soon for them to invest a ton of materials.
Yeah, you know what? I think they're desperate. You know, after those first 2 games, not finding the placement points they needed, Booga, Craze, and Threats are, you know, again, almost trying to force the win condition at this point. We'll see if it's the right decision. There's still the big names left in the lobby, like Boyo, Aegis, Acorn, G-Money, Ryzen. Of course, you know, being very much situated there ahead of them. So I'm a bit concerned, but so long as, you know, Boyo, Acorn, and Aegis stay on the low ground, I think they'll be okay up there.
Great damage on the Byla. They get the knock on the TK. Larson's down as well. Byla just needs a miracle here to survive outside of the zone. Luckily for him, there's fallen bodies of his teammates. He's able to get as much of the resources as possible, but in comes TK. In comes Teeks. They're able to take them down. That's a huge loss there on the other side, but for Booga, Craze, and Threats, that's a huge win. They're able to get damage, eliminations, and they're able to rotate here much safer on the high ground.
Aviv, G-Money, and Rise at the front side of zone, but Boyo, Acorn, and team are going to be rotating right behind them. So this is going to all unfold here, and now you can see them kind of cutting them off. Aviv, Rise, and G-Money, look at their perspective. Very situated, big material going through the metal right now. They can, you know, kind of can. They have all the luxury to do so.
Right in front to a team above. Pays getting targeted out. That's Craze who actually gets the elimination points for that, even though it's Rise, G-Money. And the trio is able to get all of that loot for that fallen body as Boyo, Aegis, Acorn still dominating the low ground, almost 2,000 above the threshold. It's more about winning a game. It's about proving a point. It's about making a statement for them.
Argo, Havoc, and Scylla. It's another team you got to look out for here. No strangers to high ground. They got Mist Form as well. Plenty of options to go ahead and work around with here. Control this low ground layer too. Sandman, Twitchy, and Northern kind of sneaking into the conversation. We haven't said much about them, but they've been one of the most consistent trios on the day right now. Aegis, Acorn, and Boyo find another elimination. This is going to pull them up to 10. There it is. That double elim worth of points there earned already here. Really starting to rack up.
They even got the upgrade from Superhero S+. Every boon they didn't have before, they do have now. That just makes them a stronger team than before as they make the sacrifice. Rise, G-Money, and Aviv, they go deep into the front of zone. They drop the men in the smoke, and they wait for it to catch up. A 200 IQ play. On the other side, though, they're still looking to get aggressive, and now they're knocking on the door. Rise, G-Money, and Aviv down below. They get distracted, though, for a moment, trying to find a path and exit while every other team is trying to do the same thing. That's just more loot for them to get for themselves, but they're taking their time, Monster, because down below, there's a full trio waiting for them to drop down.
You can see the effects of the dashes coming out there. So Boyo fully aware of what's all happening below them. Aviv, G-Money, and Rise, though, playing for placement points here. I think they're just trying to say, hey, look, we can solidify our way to grand finals here through consistency. We've done enough to stay alive at this rate. The rest falls into place here. Pieces to the puzzle. Front side is perfectly timed for them. Out of material, though, now, so they will be forced to collapse here shortly into a trio. Boyo, Aegis, and Acorn taking full advantage of these tarps here, walking their way across this heavy material right now.
Acorn cutting off the path on the other side as well. Pollo's just following. Say, hey, where do you need me, Captain? Even Ager's almost getting boxed up. For Pollo there to save the day yet again. Dropping the medallion, changing hands, making sure that Ager's is healthy because they know how chaotic this end game is. And Jardlu's feeling it as well. Two of his teammates both go down. That's a lot of pressure on him as a solo to try to get some placement points from up, down, all around, inside of his cover. The zone is going to be the one, after all, to take him down.
Couldn't even shoot his way out. Aviv, though, trying to do the same. Misforms his way out the back half of the box there and into the new storm he goes. 6th place so far. Things kind of crumbled for him a moment ago. Waiting for that misform to go in and turn online here. Siphon was available, but doesn't get it in time there. Couldn't find the shot. Meanwhile, Booga threats and Craze. We haven't gone up to what's happening there, but Pollo, Adrian, and Acorn say, give us a second. We'll show you what's happening up here. Pollo putting on the edit course for us to witness here. Gets pieced though by Craze and Threats. And just like that, it should be their game to win. It's a 3v1 happening here. Tex on the low ground doesn't know what all just happened. Here comes Threats to go in and close the deal. Puts the edits out, boxes him out, finishes the game with a nice tag and a shotgun shot there, and they'll be going straight to grand finals.
Yeah, that's almost history in the making. That is a 26 grand finals appearance for Booga, only missing out on one. And on the other side, that's Craze, the newest player on this team. They made the decision, him or Rapid, and so far it's working out. That's going to be his 5th FNCS final appearance.
Very good game by them. You know, they played it very well. Textbook, as one might say. But, you know, at the end there, I got to say, Acorn, you know, bravo. You know, he was like, hey, we know who's on high. Let's just go take a full-on fight. Let's have some fun with this one. And Pollo tries to pull out the edit course, but in the end, Threats, though, plays it so well. Shuts him down there.
Right there was just kind of the Antiques. Yeah, he was able to at least get, I think, an elimination point on top of that. And for Teeks, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. He pulled up, was able to get a good amount of placement points, but it's Booga, Threats, and Craves that made their way to the grand final. Zeke, there's only 2 spots left, though.
Why would you say that, Jacob? Why would you remind me that we don't have many games left? You're supposed to just let me look through my rose-colored glasses, okay? All right? Also, because Booga won, you know there's only one thing I have to do. Congratulations, Booga. We're going to be seeing you in grand finals, baby. Let's go. Oh, you thought I was going to do... No. See? You got to keep on your toes.
You got me. You did get me.
That was good. That was good. That was surprising. And not as surprising, though, as seeing Threats, Craze, and Booga get the win on game. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Zeke. And much as we could predict that coming out, we could also predict the win coming from Booga, Craze, and Threats. I mean, they just had pretty good games 1 and 2, but once they finally took the high ground in game 3, we knew that it was done and dusted for this trio. There was very little that could stand in their way, but what could stand in their way is Pollo's trio, but it kind of looked like Pollo's trio just kind of went up for fun, Vivid, if I could say that accurately, and just went for the W key to see what would happen.
You know, testing out the water, seeing, you know, who's up on high, seeing if they could pull out one of the little montage highlights right there. But, hey, listen, Booga, Threats, and Craze, putting all my worries away. Because I'm not going to lie, after game number 2, I didn't get to talk about it. Seeing them in 19th place, I was like, are they okay? Is everything going to be okay? Like, are they going to, you know? But, you know, winning game number 3, closing all of those doubts for me. Congratulations, Booga, Threats, and Craze. No surprise.
Yeah, there was a moment, you know, I admit there was a moment where my faith kind of wavered, but I thought, you know what, no, everything's fine. And then when I saw, you know, the Threats one piece up, I said, you know what, it's good. We locked it up. We're going to be seeing them in finals. So that's what we have to look forward to. Now, of course, as Jacob said, with only 2 games left to go in group number 1, how does this go? I mean, who else is going to get a VR? Who's going to end in top 5? Well, for now, we would go to a break. When we return, though, game number 4 awaits us, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the FNCS. We are excited. We are very excited because the last game, Booga got himself a victory royale, which means they're going straight through the grand finals. Congratulations to them. But there's still kind of these other two trios that seem to all be kind of fighting it out, and only ones that are left, Aviv, G-Money, and Rise, Acorn, Aegis, and Poyo. So I'm assuming, if my script is correct, you know, one of these trios will win game 4, the other will win game 5. But Aviv, Rise, and G-Money, man, they've just been really, really great. So like just in group number 1, they've been also incredibly consistent, not dropping a game outside of top 5, which is kind of crazy.
It is a little bit crazy when you kind of look at the competition that's entering group number 1. But then when you look at Rise, G-Money, and Viv, and you kind of see the expertise that they have, the veteran knowledge of the game, you can understand why they are playing the low ground like they are. They are doing such a good job kind of following the rest of the lobby for these early game regressions and using those misforms right when they need to. Aviv just plays so smartly in these end games, making sure that he's staying alive, but also paying attention to where the rest of the lobby is. And I think a lot of that is due to him playing the mid ground. A lot of players like to play the low ground going for those elims, but he likes to play the mid ground, which is just a little bit safer, but also allows you to have a lot more observation of what's going on below you.
Yeah, and those clutch moments before, but as a trio, right, when they were alive, they did something so good in game number 3 right there that actually went ahead and clinched up that top 5 for them right there. Basically, what they're going to want to do is just continuously put themselves in the front of the moving zone, right? Not necessarily inside of the zone, but actually in the storm where the zone is going to go. Well, how can they do that? How can they just set out in the storm? Because of the med miss, right? They had a couple of these this game, and they continuously kept doing this. Unfortunately, though, for the trio, right, I saw them, I believe it was on this one. Once they landed in the storm, they just got sprayed by so many different teams, right? It was so hard for them to kind of maintain and get anything kind of better than a top 5. You would imagine, though, continuously finding positions like that, they would actually be able to get something better than a top 5. Hey, 5th place is great, but it's just like, man, they were in the best position so many times, but yeah, that pressure just ended up being too much.
It's all good though, right? It's all good because they're still looking strong. 5th place right there, which is effectively 2nd. I know at times it can be confusing, but just think if we end in the top 10 overall of this leaderboard, that's basically our top 5, right? They are looking great. We only have 2 games left to go. I mean, look at the point differential, right? We just got to keep doing what we're doing. And of course, Aegis, Acorn, and Poyo. Yeah. So, you know, I think, listen, we've seen some very unique play from the boys, right? You know, game 1 come out, crazy 2nd place, 17 elimination. Game 2, Storm Surge. Game 3, we see who's on height. Let's just LOL charge them. Oh, I got pieced up. You know, I feel like we're having a good time. You know, we're having a good time. They're still 1st place. I think it's fine, right?
Zeke, you know, it's Sunday, which is commonly laundry day, and these boys are washed right now. I think it's over for them. I don't think they're going to make it into the grand finals. No, obviously, they're having fun. I don't know. You can speculate all you want. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are going to say that what I'm saying is you know, slanderous, but I think that they're kind of just testing the waters right now. They're kind of seeing what the rest of the competition is doing, and they already know that they're so high up the leaderboard that they don't really need to go for that victory royale.
Regardless of Kelly doing laundry and everything like that, I think it's still pretty awesome to see, you know, when they want to go ahead and turn it on, they can very, very easily. I mean, games 1 and game 3 showing 18 eliminations, 17 eliminations. They've got way more eliminations than the rest of the competitors, and they've effectively kind of only played 2 games so far. So incredible stuff, showing why they are favorites throughout this year.
I'm just gonna chalk it up in like my mind's lore. You know, they're refining a strategy. They're utilizing a new secret strategy, and that's what we're seeing. That's it. That's what I made up in my mind. I hope you do the same thing. Okay. Anyway, game number 4 is ready. Okay, only 2 games left to go before we say goodbye for today. So, casters, take it away.
There's only 2 games left.
Jake, I was just gonna say, it is impressive that few teams like Acorn can just go ahead and decide, hey, I'm just gonna practice, right, in my majors, in my heats.
Yeah, that's what I was even thinking to say, the practice. You talk about practice. kind of a lack of tournaments throughout the course of this season, 2 divisional cups. This is exactly what teams in their situation could start to do more and more often throughout the rest of these groups. But game number 4, 2 games left. Let's get right into the action. This is where it really starts to get interesting here. With these 2 games left, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, Monster. 2 points would separate a possible top 5 going to the grand finals and having to play through that LCQ. That is elimination difference. That's a singular placement point of difference. And then we haven't even touched on the topic of any of the teams inside of the top 5 get a win. That opens up a spot at the bottom of that consistency.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Agers, Acorn, Pollo clearly have enough points to go ahead and hold a top 5 spot. If they just decide, hey, we're going to just like be very casual these next couple rounds, right? Really just play it out, try to continue to refine our drop, refine our strategies. They're going to take away a spot to the grand finals easily from someone else. But at the same time, they're kind of teeing up another team to take a dub, right? So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. And in any case, we will be seeing them at the grand finals. That's very clear. And one thing's for certain, everyone else that's not in that like 120 plus threshold point area right now, you got to turn online. You need a win.
Yeah, 100%. And this is kind of like one of those teams that I'm looking at as well that lands over here for the most part, contested drop. They're outside of that bubble as of now, but if they're able to win these fights a little bit quicker than when those third parties come in some of the games past, this could be that opening opportunity for them. This is where they're going to look to get aggressive and try to finish these fights. They've won almost every single one of these fights so far on today's games, barring a third party, as Ian takes the first shot. That's going to give him an opportunity to separate the rest of this team and try to converge with the numbers advantage. Back-to-back shots yet again coming out from King as they get another elimination and the eventual wipe.
And they're doing good right now. 122 points. That team wipe right there is going to propel them up big time. More cushion for them to continue to, you know, earn their way up the ranks right now. All they need here is a big end game, and they'll be a true shoe into the grands. On the other side, look at what's happening here. Again, this is a team that is played exceptional, right? You could just tell by their end game strategy, their positioning, you know, all the highlights that they've managed to pull through so far. Clearly a cut above the rest. The BG Money and Rise could become the first on NAC to place top 5 in all 5 group games, right? Possibly setting up a little historic run for themselves.
Yeah, especially since a couple of these guys are in the top 5 for overall damage throughout the course of these games. As Vixie, Boogie, and Avenger do find another elimination here down below on that low ground. Full team up above on that mountain, and even on the inside, you see Cinemod in there just trying to get whatever loot is left behind. Have to be careful. Boogie knows now that somebody's here. Breaks that build. Cinemod just revealed his positioning in a 2v1. You know they're going to push forward. You know they want to try to seal the deal here.
Like the pressure coming out of Boogie, Vixie. Getting up. Gotta finish this quickly, though. You know, too many teams like to lurk around these mountains here. Cinemod, tag from behind. There it is. What's happened there? I'm sniping that one up.
So they're doing a good job right now of being able to push them back, but with some arrows right behind, they're able to get a little bit of damage, but basically pushes himself into a 3v1. Teammates are there to try to close the gap. That's not Braden trying to alleviate some of that pressure, forcing both Boogie, Vixie, and hopefully Avenger's able to get down there as well. I don't want to kind of leave him out to dry. It does look like for a moment they did. Just a sliver of HP, Monster. How mad would you be at your teammates?
Not looking good, though. Take a look at the angle. The 116. Big tag there off the Vixie. Oh, and it catches TYT off guard.
No.
What a play and a half. Then the finish. GG, Jacob.
Wow, that was actually a pretty big shot to hit, and Braden falls for the same thing. He's forced to go up and try to hide. Boogie's doing a good job of fighting back, but 3 versus 1. It doesn't take a mathematician to know that's just odds are so stacked against you. And now with that, they are going to be able to get Braden back on up. There's a reboot at the top of where they're currently at, so they should waste no time getting to it.
Keeping things interesting here. Look at that. What a clean little play right there. Getting fancy with it, using the zip line and everything. Oh no, we were celebrating Pay 14 Boogeyman and Quick's endgame last round. Look at that, they picked up 50 points last game or so, and right now the pressure coming through. Venox, Luke, and Panda find themselves almost in the quite literal same point threshold, so they're neck to neck here. Pay trying to escape now, but Panda's got so much resource to work with. Yeah, this is not looking good. Pay's gonna have to pull something big off right here. Gets cut off, doubles back through the builds, collapsed on, suffocated, and now about to get finished here. Boogie, you can see in the distance, just running for his tournament life here in game number 4.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Boogie took so much damage to start that fight. He immediately ran away. And when Pay went to try to alleviate some of the pressure, they say, you know what, that's a 3v1. Just turn around, burn him down. And that's exactly what they did. But Boogie, if he has some extra HP, whether it's a Chug Jug, Med Mist Smoke, or Med Kits, not going to be hard for him to get his teammates back into the game. Shogun's Arena, the island does appear, and it's going to be no stranger at Pollo Ages Acorn, a huge part of their game plan. And if they survive the contested off-spawn fights that we think we're going to see in the Major Grand Finals, this is exactly what they're going to be looking for as step 2 in their journey.
Yeah, they're having no problems. I mean, like we said before, what they're looking to is the land of gold. Let's be honest, right? Even this major right here is a matter of, one might even say, ego and preparation, right? So everything that I'm seeing right now is clearly pointing to the bigger picture.
Yeah, Pointator's top 2 in damage after 3 games, 4,200 damage and 4,100 damage. It's kind of neck and neck. Acorn to IGL, just kind of making sure that he stays one of the best IGLs in the history of the game. Sandman, Northern, and 20 towards Supernova. They were able to get some damage early on. I did see a knock go out into the distance. And with the zone pushing from north all the way towards the south, they're not going to make it a priority to rotate early. They're just going to make sure to look back at every single one of these teams just like this, knowing they're going to have to rotate first.
Quick update here. Larson by TK doubling back for an elimination now. They find just on the skirts of the zone. It's going to be 2 from whatever trio they were kind of engaged on.
Just another one of those zones that looks like it's pushing all the way towards the south, and I wonder how telling that island actually is, because you see last game, it didn't pull over Foxy. Acorn, Aegis, Pollo forced to rotate towards the north. That's where the zone pulled. This time around, Foxy does have the island, and it looks like the zone is pulling towards the south. Anybody here else done their homework? Probably setting up around this area. Kappa Kappa Factory, the Rainbow Field, the direction they're looking at, and even Utopia, where a new team honestly could be positioned at, as Booga, Craze, and Threats did win that last game.
Oh, most definitely. That's a dynamic that is for sure taking place right now. I mean, yeah, you know, you got to think about that too, right? 3 less trios already in the lobby, kind of loosens things up a bit here in the early game. Not as chaotic. It almost feels like we saw in those first 2 games, especially. Pretty noticeable, fast, action-paced early games for those, but G-Money and Aviv, of course, securing Aspire here. Going to be rewarded handsomely in a couple moments. Void, Broken, and King, though, doubling back to the Flutter Frogs here.
Rightfully so, they kind of won their contested fight. You see the 3 eliminations, just trying to make sure that they get every bit of resource out of there, because remember, because of these contested fights, they don't loot half of the POI themselves. They don't know what is left behind, so they're just trying to double check, make sure. You see a med kit up there. That one's definitely going to be useful, considering how deep into the zone they actually are. So are some of these other teams. Larson, Pilot, TK, they have 2 eliminations so far. And rotating away from Lone Wolf Lair. They're just trying to go towards the north, rotate towards the east, and then try to find a spot they feel comfortable in from there.
Hey, oh, I was going to say, what kind of play is that? Taking the 1 med kit, but they're close to the edge. Bala should be picking up the miss form there in a couple moments. Bit of a standoff here at the time of the span. Ooh, tags from the side. Don't let your guard down.
Even I'm scratching my head like, where did that even come from? Probably top of the bridge. In a cloud. Maybe even the bush here from Madden. Just goes to show, like, how dangerous those DMRs are. And throughout the course of the game, if you have the options, maybe zone 7, 8, you typically drop it for a Spyro or a Spy Rifle or a Fury AR so you can get that quick close-range combat. But in the early game, you're seeing at least 2 DMRs, maybe 1, in every single one of these teams' loadout because how important Storm Surge actually is.
Jack Day and OG. I don't know how I feel about their overall performance so far. 69 points on the board here for them. Pretty tough game. Tight 2 games left ahead of them. Ski and Woods, though, at the Utopia City. On to get into a lot of action here with Pure Map and Polo. Oh, Polo. First to fall there. A bad edit. Catches him off guard. And actually more tags from the distance, too, so... seems to just be going downhill for them.
This team's got to be careful. There's another team directly in Utopia. You see in the mini-map, both on top and bottom, potential teams as well. Luckily for them, they are kind of in the center of the zone, so unless they're forced to be proactive for Storm Surge, which chances are one of the teams probably might be, they really don't have to risk too much at this stage in the game. Everybody else, though, you see Void, Broken, King still rotating in from the north. There's one more team over from Pump Power. They might end up clashing, but that's where a lot of teams start to build up that metal material if they haven't had it already.
Yeah, this team seems to be pretty capped off on most of their other mats at the moment. Hey, did Broken catch visuals on Preston here? It does look like he knows they are there now, rotating out. Trying to make a dash here to see if he can get a couple tags. This is going to be a big opportunity for him. Preston's very lit. Couple headshots from this fire rifle. That'll be all she wrote here.
Yeah, it's not much, but that superhero rank upgrade, you see kind of the HP going up 1, down 1, up 1. That's because they did rank up to A rank, not having to force out any of that HP just yet as we tune on Pollo, Agers, Acorn in another fight in Demon's Domain, so not too far off from their original drop spot. That's the tick there on the other side, but from up above, down below, Acorn, Pollo, they're trying to converge, sandwich onto 1. That's the tick there on the other side, and I think Agers had joined the fun as well. Luckily for him, he's trying to disengage with the dashes, but it's only going to help for so much. Agers is still going to be able to get that down. I think Acorn is going over to clean that one up.
Yeah, down body at the bottom of the builds as well.
Yikes.
Agers, interesting enough, every time we tune into him, he's got this 6 big pots. So you're just seeing kind of the, you know, the strategy almost take form here, right? Whose role is what? Oh, look, Aloe. I didn't know where he was. He's kind of hiding out in the background there.
Okay, I see Kappa at the edge of zone. Probably the top of outpost. So it is kind of centering up for the most part. Demon's Domain is on the outskirts as well, on the western edge. So everybody right now on the north end, even on the northwestern edge of the map, still trying to find their spot. And that's where that edge of the zone is going to be so clustered. And you can kind of see the huge difference already. Silic, Jargo, and Havoc. Relatively nobody here on this side of the map. That's just because they're all on the north.
Happening on the outskirts, though. Luzon and Power. This little scenic rotate here. They're playing ultra dead side. They're going all the way around here. Not looking to take any risk. See the spire for the shrine here in sight. Go ahead and replenish up. Still got a med mist to work with too, so we'll be just fine. Yeah, look at how there's no one in sight down here. If they for some reason need damage, I mean, they're cooked.
Yeah, I was thinking they're looking for the launch pad. Yeah, they gotta have to hurry up and get in there, because even if they're above the threshold, let's just say 1, 2, even 300, we know in the next couple of zones that can change in the blink of an eye. And the slower you are to rotate in, more and more teams will kind of take that priority positioning away from you, and you kind of get left whatever is going to be left over. Brilliant, Aiden Hound. They have the blueprint for success so far today. Even though they haven't been able to execute and get that victory royale, they've gotten close, and if they could just figure out a way to mimic that, replicate some of that success here. Relatively good spot in towards zone as it does pull further and further towards the east, over towards Utopia City. They have the option to rotate early, get towards the zone, or wait and accumulate more surge as other teams have to rotate as well.
You know, they may not have picked up a lot of eliminations, but the placement points are very much kind of shining through on the overall points here. Same for Mafia, Tex, and Hades. This game, actually, surprisingly, they don't have any early game elims. They have been one of the few teams that have been consistently battling off the drop. Team right on their heels though. They might just be getting collapsed on here shortly. There's two angles at which this can all go down. Tex gets tagged from the west side here. The team behind him stops moving in their tracks. Like, wait a second, we don't want to get caught in between this canyon here. It's pay 14.
I know we have the luxury of seeing it too. You just see how many teams are on the edge that they're rotating towards as well. 82 below the damage threshold. So instead of focusing on just getting Storm Surge, they're going to try to get in towards the zone first, find a spot that they feel comfortable with, and that's where they're going to try to accumulate some damage, maybe even on this edge, knowing there is a team behind them, because that shots that we saw earlier on could be their opportunity. Might be the only safe one at least. Pollo, Ager's Acorn, they already have the medallion from the island, and they have Havoc down as well. Their destruction of group number 1 continues.
Flexing at this point. 1,000 above here. None of the problems we saw kind of in that game too. Mafia hates the Tex though. You just watched them rotate here. I like that lurking play they were trying to set up, but it seems like the team didn't end up tailing behind them. What a fresh pickup though. Oh, I don't think he saw Boogeyman there. Missed that it now. Time to keep him exposed. Team Flyers back though. And there it is. They're pushing that solo that he saw.
Yeah, I think they kind of saw him at the last second, but they really had no choice. They couldn't go for, ooh, nice shot into the stairs. From 50 or so to 181, plus the elimination on top of that. And for Teeks, Hades and Mafia, they started this game at 132 points, 3rd place on the consistency. They just need to continue to have the same type of games that they're having, or at the very worst, just not go down early outside of placements. For G-Money, Rise, and Aviv, 208 points, all but secured their spot as well over from the outpost. Things are looking good for a good portion of the lobby, but Naves, the Tick, and Aloe now have their backs up against the wall. Active Storm Surge, 180, drop down to 73. They're connecting with shots, but not fast enough to alleviate any of that pressure. Every 7 seconds, 25 damage. And on the other side of these boxes, Monster, it's Ager's, Acorn, and Pollo. So it's going to get harder for them if they're fighting it out as Pollo claims the first.
Aloe fought so hard to save his team, pick them up, get them back in the game here, but 500 below the threshold there. I mean, there's only so much you can do, especially this late into the mid game now, as things are starting to really progress along. Pollo, Agers, and Acorn continuing to use these opportunities to just polish up and sharpen their steel. Look at that line right there. Plenty of material for the end game to come. Mafia Tex though and Heyy, look at this. 400 below now, so although they've kind of inched their way through, find and have found opportunities to kind of stay in the game, this is where they've now fallen significantly behind. They will need to take this full trio fight. I like that they're doing it here and now before it gets in later, but this is not going to be easy at all.
And they did get that superhero upgrade throughout the course of that, but exactly what you said, 403, that's more than 2 full eliminations worth of damage. And it's just going to continue to get worse. The zone pulled towards the south, 456. They have an idea of a team right below them that they kind of want to jump on, but they haven't got the green line yet. And the more time that they waste in this situation, Monster, the harder it's going to be to get the surge and survive the rotation.
That A rank definitely giving them a lot of time alive. They're kind of playing with house money here, but tagged on the rotate. That's the setback. You got to be careful with. The surge, of course, starting to add up here. Let's see if they can do something big here. They need to finish this team. No, they were waiting, ready, kind of block those shots coming in. This is it. Woods comes down. No, boxes him up. And the counter cone out of Woods there. allows him to escape ever so briefly. Mafia finds a tag, needs the siphon here to stay alive in the game. There it is. Jacob, they might be doing it somehow, some way. I mean, just a couple more seconds to survive, kind of live to see another day.
Just need Storm Surge to deactivate for a moment. Give him a chance to breathe and refocus their attention onto something else as Luke, Vinox, and Panda Season is just rotating away. That is their Storm Surge if they have any hope of getting it. And Hades goes down to Void outside of the Storm. Mafia's left by himself. 610 damage, and he's going to finally meet his maker here. But no, 3 HP and a dream. 23 seconds. Storm Surge will reactivate Monster.
Oh my gosh. There it is. The miss form. He was waiting for it to go there and cool down. No, tagged on the way, but hey, he earned, might have been a placement point, top 20 there, so wasn't for nothing, just battling through and through to the very end. Meanwhile, Vive, Rise, and G-Money, they want this refresh here. They find Liam and Flo on the outside of the zone, the full finish, just collapsing on the teams. They get a big set of material there to go ahead and work with now. Dargus Silic, the last two alive on this trio, seem to have had a tough time with Surge themselves this last zone. Things are starting to heat up now. Get high ground though. Boyo, Agers, and Acorn. I think they had enough Fortnite for the night. They might be looking to pack this one up.
Hey, any team that's below the consistency leaderboard, 6th and on, you're kind of hoping
happy.
them, Aviv's team somehow pulls off the victory royale, because that kind of ushers everything upward. It opens up a spot at the bottom of consistency, and with how close it is, it could be anybody's game. Void, Broken, and King, one of those teams that I was talking about, started this game at about, I think it was 4th place on that consistency leaderboard overall, so they're definitely within reach inside of the bubble. They just need to solidify it here without these next 2 games.
Yeah, this is good. Good time to go ahead and punch out. Liam at Intrizzido, no. Caught on the move there. Again, you're just seeing the update of all the teams that are kind of in the running, but just having a really tough game 4.
Yeah, this is... I feel like every team that is inside of the bubble, except for 2, has been going down, has been facing so many difficulties. And while for them that may be a little bit of a curse, for everybody else below that leaderboard, that's a blessing. That just means the overall standings is to be that much closer at the end of the day. As another rotation, good portion of the lobby gets the front zone, but the rest is everybody's going to have to rotate back. Luckily for them, there's no active Storm Surge just yet, but that can change in the next couple seconds.
Yeah, if there's any time to stay consistent, get the big points is here and now, while so much of the bubble teams are potentially looking to fall here. I mean, those points around that 110 to 130 area is the sweet spot here for top 5 so far. Plenty more to earn though. Top 15 left here. 197 below for Jargo and Silic. Good defense from Madden though, and he's gonna shut things down there, possibly eliminating the dreams of Jargo, but no. Jargo, just 2 builds left, hiding out. Nothing there.
He's just simply trying to survive, but he gets caught out. 213 though. Aiden, Hound, Krillian. Instead of going for high ground too early, they're trying to dominate that low ground. But if you look up, it's Rise, it's Aviv, it's G-Money. They're on top of the world for now. But this is something we've seen already in games past. Hopefully they learned their mistakes as the destruction continues down below. Agers looking to claim another one as they're putting pressure from box to box. Polio also closing in on that distance. Finally, they steal away one of those pieces and they take down Mako right after. That's a wish that he hoped that he could make it to that last game so they can qualify.
They're earning so many points right now. At this point, I'm questioning if they're even going to queue into the last game. They don't need to, but at the end of the day, they are popping off here and now. High ground, of course, Aviv, Rise, and G-Money situated comfortably. Void, Broken, and Kingdom. They've had a good run so far. They're eyeing up an opportunity to try to take a win here. I like this level of commitment here, but G-Money and Rise want to go ahead and reconnect to their builds. It's all woods, though. That could be telling of the situation of our high ground trio.
think it truly is, and that's exactly why they put so many pressure on the second height team. But down below, Foil able to clean up one elimination, but up above, that's a whole nother trio. But they're not backing down. In fact, they're moving forward step by step, just walking them down. One elimination has already been cleaned up. Two more trying to go out the side. Aegis does have that cape, so he can be able to mitigate damage from the storage soon. Hound goes down. Aiden's going to be stuck with Perillion, trying to clutch this one out, and he finds a crucial elimination before falling.
Perillion trying to cap off here. Player right beneath them. Can he get the tag? Nicely done there. It's on today in the finish. And on the other side of the wall, another one waiting to happen, but Raw answers with a bigger tag. Siphon to keep him in the game. Meanwhile, the VG Money Rise, watching this all go down. They have no more mats, mind you, unless they've managed to find some way to pick something up. Yeah, look, they are completely on E here. What's the play for them? Acorn coming up. Yeah, this team has so many builds. This is all but GG. Acorn just cranking his way up. They want to win this game here and now.
There's just no Agers, so he's kind of doing it by himself because Poyo is kind of stuck. He's busy. His hands full with a whole nother team. They're separated, working as individuals. Rao gets flanked by Aviv, who gets flanked by somebody else. But if you look up, Acorn has done just enough. Exactly what you were talking about. They expended every material until they were fresh out, going up against Acorn, who's not slow in his role. He's ready to fight. He knows the men miss smoke is a sign of weakness, but he bites off more than he can chew. He's going to go down, but Poyo's by himself. 1v3 situation, and he meets that same fate monster.
Unfortunately misses the tag that matters. Aviv, Rise, and G Money managed to survive the onslaught with no mats. And in the end, Core, Org, and Preston on the low ground, hearing it all go down. Also no material. This is just going to be a full-on clash here of a 3v3. And then there's one lurking nearby. Could be Raw FM who's playing his zone. That big tag from him kind of in the mix here. Yeah, he's found himself in the mid-ground. Hey, he's got material for everyone else here, though. He seems like he misforms up to the top, so keeping things interesting. There goes the delivery. Aviv comes around, using that misform to get up above. I like the edit, and it's just chaos in the low ground, but Aviv is fired up, and well played for them. They secure the dub.
Smooth walking across that finish line. They had high ground, and even with Acorn contesting them when they were out of materials, they gave it up together. They played as a team, and eventually Acorn Poyo got separated. They fell, and then the rest was theirs from the taking, and some big plays by Aviv at the end. Even might not have picked up the most eliminations, but the damage he dealt was a huge difference maker for them.
Definitely was. And, you know, I was looking at the material counts for G Money, Rise, and Aviv, and I'm like, wait a second, two of them have nothing, but it seemed like they funneled everything into Aviv. So Aviv kind of was the win condition at one point, but look at the kickoff there. G Money really opening up this battle, getting that initial elimination, allowing Aviv to go ahead and finish up the job. Well played for them. A victory royale for Aviv, G Money, and Rise send them straight to grand final. Zeke, that was match number 4.
The big cheese of Eve, G Money and Rise going straight through to grand finals. You love to see it. Also, that bird form, the kind of drop down shot, bird form back up, pop back out, drop down shot. Okay, all right. That's the swaggiest thing I think I've seen today. That's it.
No, I swore that Alfred Hitchcock is writing this script right now because it's just birds everywhere. But obviously, we all knew that Aviv, G Money, and Rise were going to be coming out, going into the grand finals because these first 3 games, they have just performed so well. They got a 5th, a 2nd, and a 3rd. And what better way to round out their day than getting that victory royale on height that we've seen them kind of testing the waters a little bit, but finally confidently grabbing that height and just running away with it, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Kinch that we got to see come through that game as well, right? It's like, oh, you know, Rise, Aviv, and G Money could be the first team to get top 5 in all 5 of the group games. And yeah, that's right there is why it's so hard for a team to actually kind of do that. Because if you're good enough to get top 5 in 5 of the games, then you're probably good enough to go ahead and win one as well, right? So, of course, Rise, G Money, and Aviv winning. They're not going to be playing match number 5. Can't get top 5 in all 5 games if you can't play all 5. But yeah, I mean, incredible stuff for them. And, you know, we'll see it in a little bit here, but the leaderboard effects of one of those very, very consistent teams winning a game shuffles things up.
That's right, Vivid, and we'll see that after this short break. With only 1 game left to go, and now a top-performing team making it through on a Victory Royale. What does that mean? Well, stay tuned, and you'll find out.
Man, this is it. The last game of group number 1. How did we get here? Let's just, you know what? Just gonna wipe everything. We're gonna start over. All right, this is now game 1. A good thing I don't have the power to do that. Game number 5 is right around the corner, but we wanted to just highlight a couple things from game number 4. Maybe you just missed it, but Aviv got himself the Victory Royale. G-Money, Rise will see that trio heading straight through to grand finals not too long from now. But there's a couple, well, there's one last trio that hasn't got a VR that, you know, they're still performing the way we'd expect to perform. I guess, will we see Adri's Acorn and Pollo get a VR in game number 5? What do you guys think?
You know what's so funny is that during rehearsal, we even joked about them not going for the win for any of these games just to get a little bit more practice in. And I don't know, you know, it seems like that. I don't want to claim that that's exactly what they're doing, but they seem to be in so many potential positions to go for this, you know, advantageous spot. And then they kind of just go for the W key. They go for the aggro. They want to go for the eliminations, regardless of what we've seen them play before in Majors 1 and 2, where they're so smart with their height takes. It kind of just seems like they are, once again, testing the waters. They're kind of feeling out the rest of the lobby, and this might be a good way for them to kind of judge how the grand finals are going to play out a little bit.
Yeah, I actually, I've got a little bit of a challenge for this trio here. A little bit of extra credit, if you will, right? Game number 1, 17 eliminations. Game number 3, 18 eliminations. Game number 4, 19 eliminations.
Oh, my God.
So, Zeke, what do you think it is that I want in game number 5 in this trio?
Okay, hear me out. We
Don't make
go
it
ahead and get
complicated here.
96 eliminations and the victory royale. In all seriousness, though, I am curious because, like, obviously, remember, so the 5 trios who get a victory royale, they go through to the grand finals. Okay, so then we want to be basically in the top 10 of this leaderboard, which is effectively our top 5. Okay. So with them being at the top so far away, like they're definitely secured themselves a spot.
Sure?
Like there's just like no way, right? Like, they're not falling out. But if they were to get a victory royale in this next game, I feel like that's kind of pulled the leaderboard up. And I would like to see that, right? Because that kind of gives like more people opportunity to like fight for that top 5. You know, especially as we kind of start to flip on over to effectively like what is that bubble, so to speak, right? I mean, it's only a point between like 10 and 11th, right? It's 131 to 130. So like there's some kind of interesting back and forth there. So I feel like it's probably most beneficial that they get the VR here, right? Like that would probably be the best for the lobby.
I think honestly, regardless, they're gonna win. So they either take that VR spot or they take that top 5 spot. I don't think that's actually gonna like affect the lobby too much more. But I do think if you look at this like second page, we have so many teams that are within that contention of getting top 10 right now. Violet, TK, and Larson that sit in top 10 are just 130 points, and we know that a victory royale, or even not even a victory royale, but like a top 7 with a handful of eliminations, can just shoot you up the leaderboard. And we have some big names here. We have teams like Day, Jack, and Boji, Sandman 20 and Northern, Power Blue and Xanda, Liam, like all of these huge teams that are within that precipice of making it into that top 10. I don't think, honestly, that Ager's, Acorn, and Pollo have any influence on what's going to go on. They're literally double of second place through placement right now. I think regardless of what they do, the rest of the lobby is just focusing on themselves.
Of course, Acorn, Agers, and Pollo, they're secured, right? But there is way more teams that are not secured than are secure right now, right? Talking about all of the bubble teams, the ones that are kind of close to making it into that top 10. Well, this format's awesome because no matter where you stand on the leaderboard, you actually have a chance coming into this last game. You could be the last place on that leaderboard right now. As long as you win this last game, you can make it into finals, which I think makes it so awesome and makes game number 5 very scary.
That's true, man. It's time to roll the dice one last time out of group number 1. Who walks away with the victory royale? Let's find out together for the last time today. Casters, take it away.
They say it at the start of the show. Time flies when you're having fun. Already we're at the last game of the day, and Zeke, he hit the nail on the head. 1 point separates a grand finals appearance and having to go through that dreaded LCQ.
Yeah, one might say that if Acorn, Agers, and Pollo honestly just stay consistent, it becomes a more competitive lobby. In theory, because they're just going to go ahead and snipe a spot and say, you know what, the 4 next best teams are going to be the ones to go ahead and step up. So at this point, we know they're a shoo-in. And, you know, last game, a lot of teams came up short. Teams that could have honestly broke away with a hefty lead had a really tough game 4. So clearly, there's some lobby adjustment happening here, Jacob.
Yeah, and if any of these teams in or outside of the bubble, if you're that close, go down early in this game, you're literally left watching and hoping and praying that that point threshold is enough. But game number 5 is here. Who goes to the grand finals? Let's find out.
It's been a great group 1 so far, but the last time we step onto this group's battle bus begins here and now. Game number 5 is kicking off, and you know, I couldn't be more excited to start gearing up for the future group stages. This one right here, definitely, I would say, not riddled with too many surprises. All the teams that have pulled through with victory royales were clearly some tier 1 trios kind of coming into the mix. And now that it comes down to the final wire, it really wouldn't surprise me if Pollo, Acorn, and Agers decide, hey, we're gonna have some more fun and secure a 2nd place for good measure.
You know, looking at that drop map, we were talking all day long. The teams that win a game, that opens up their drop spot. Who's brave enough to go over there? Rise, G-Money, and Aviv just won from Outpost. We saw how much space and loot they were able to get, Monster. Not a single team moved over in that direction. So we're going to stay with contested fights off the drop, just like this one. Byla, Larson, and TK going at it yet again, but it's Pollo that's able to get the first gun, try to drop into the building. Byla takes a good amount of damage. His teammate is there with the twin fire shotgun. One's going to go down, but it's only going to be a trade, and TK TK gets the better end of that deal.
And a siphon, too. That was probably the most important part of that entire exchange right there. Spear has a shotgun. TK slips out the side. And Spear second guesses himself here and says, you know what? Let's just get the pickup, save my teammate, and allows TK to kind of refresh and recoup himself here. I mean, TK's got a big decision. Jacob, what do you think he does in this situation?
I feel like he just has to hide. He can't even necessarily disengage because we know how crowded the north side of the map is overall. So I feel like almost if you hear this reboot going off, you might have to try to make a play, but it's a double reboot on top of that. So maybe TK is thinking, get these reboot cards, disengage, and hope for the best.
Yeah, he's got to be quick, though. He's in the room where the cards are, but he had to break through the wall first. There goes the first one. Here they come now. He does have that extra build, but no, gets cut off there. And just like that, TK's run ends. And they did not earn any effective points this game. That'll be GG. Polo Spear and Mav get to honestly fight their way to Victory Royale at this point.
That's just a heartbreaker. We were talking about on the bubble, in the bubble. They were the line. But you're seeing these contested fights throughout the day. Flooded Frogs. It does look like Void's able to get the first jump and the first wipe onto them. And a huge change-up, too, because they finished it rather quickly this game around versus some of the previous games that we've seen today. That's going to allow them to loot up the outskirts and all of this surrounding area from Flooded Frogs that they weren't able to do in previous games.
Void Broken King. Big 3 elims. Saw the highlights. They're comfortably in the 170 range now. You know, they might have done enough to go ahead and also secure a seat on that battle bus to the grand finals. Oyo Ager's Acorn sticking to the trusty strategy so far. Again, this is all in preparation for the weeks ahead now. They've been, honestly, the entertainment for the night.
I think it might be one of those scenarios because in theory, based off of drop maps in every Fortnite community analyst, it's going to be them versus Peterbot at Demon's Domain if Peterbot can make it out of the group stages. But you got to realize, going up against a team like that, you can't expect to win every single contested drop. So in order for them to have a shot at winning if they are contested, Monster, it's
we're watching this final match. I'm not even trolling, watching this final match.
I think it's a perfect strategy they're doing today. Not really trying to win the game, but more so
we're watching this final match. Hello.
For in theory,
can anybody even hear a single word out of my mouth? W's.
Gotta close that gap here.
Chat, who's winning? Who's winning this?
Game 5 of 5. Once again, this is the last opportunity now.
Who is winning this, bro? Just let me know who's winning this. Power FN. Storm Surge.
Format. Everyone else is seeing with 100+ points. They just need to stay consistent into the end game. Big fight happening here. Power and their whole tournament on the line here and now. Let's see it go down.
Oh, that was a
nice limb. Power
change the shot. He gets the better end of it. Maybe the first elimination being acquired so far. Green 2 going to play out the rest of the way, and Blue's trying to keep it that way. He's getting jumped on, trying to make space. You see him using so much material to try to get back to his teammates. As soon as they get this opportunity to get the same box hip to hip, they're going to slow it down, take it one step at a time, and hopefully try to finish up this fight. Up they go.
Oh, chat. Who's winning this?
The high ground. He's getting that pressure on the Smoss and Electro. Playing safe. They're going to go ahead and use that pistol to reclaim the high ground. But they're separate.
Who's winning this, chat? Let me know.
Pushable spot in this 3v2.
But it's a matter of time. Tag Blue, nice to judge for him. Toads up the opponent, finds the big healthy shot of Electro.
Oh, we got two.
Take it all the way to the
What's that
side
guy's
here.
name? Twitch something, bro? Come on, bro. Lock it in, bro.
Oh, and then blocks him out. Wait a second. Okay. Even interesting for us at this point.
We're reviving Power FM.
Looks like you're trying to highlight in the corner.
We are with Power
right there.
FM.
Then he backed up and blocked him. Not gonna lie, that was almost a super nasty clip, but he has one pump instead.
And I feel like I didn't make too many like predictions coming into this group stage, but I was like, Power, Blue, Zonda, they've been consistent, especially Power throughout these past couple seasons, making at least one of the major finals on two different rosters. So I kind of predicted them to make it. I didn't think it was going to be this close. Sandman 20 Northern, another team I thought would find success here today, especially since they're uncontested Supernova Academy, which most of the competitive community thinks of this as the #1 drop spot in the game.
Hello.
Outside of the team.
Look at this.
What is good game with AI?
Three, but teams kind of in the vicinity.
Alright, we're watching Make-A-Wish again.
Make-A avoided Icy are at 90 points, so they really do have a...
Wait, can you share your screen? I want to see.
To make that top 5 still. They might be sitting deep in that second page, but they're not out the running just yet.
Especially if, you know, any of these teams at the top of the leaderboard open up a spot inside of the top 5, give them that much more of a chance. But they're looking, I think they're looking about like 50 points, so around maybe a top 5 or something, depending on how many eliminations they're able to accumulate as well. It's on the Blue Power, continuing to rotate. Trying to find eliminations. It almost seems like this team is trying
watching
to
the final match of Fortnite of this Fortnite tournament.
Elimination, trying to bypass some of these players.
Can't believe 5 games can last 3 hours.
Rather than just kind of sitting in a surge tower and letting the game pass you by.
Okay.
I'm looking ready forward to the end game here. Is the Blue and Power kind of set themselves up for all the damage they need.
YouTube chat should be loaded.
The Drizzy, Liam, Madden. We're towards the north side of the map, just outside of Power and Supernova Academy. A lot of teams going to try to use this to kind of rotate in from the north side of the map. Instead of just straight going in from the western side.
I'm watching a tournament. I'm not joining people at the moment.
Even though there's that mobility with the dashes and the Mist 4 monster, there's just too much space to kind of close the gap.
Chad, who's winning this?
But they have all those extra hills down the ramp. Don't be worried if you're a fan of this team.
How, bro, Aussie Antics has been live. How long has Aussie Antics been live for? Bro, Aussie Antics has been live for 9 hours. He watches the Arab one and I was watching the other one. He watches the year one and I was watching the other one. 9 hours straight.
Cut down quickly here, but it will still come down to a very intense endgame for all.
What's up, Jason?
We started this.
Wait, can you send me the link of the stream if you're live?
We talked about over 60 players trying to fight for their first grand finals. Everyone who's kind of punched their way through essentially have been a part of these veteran teams, so there's a lot on the line here for many in the lobby still.
Including this team here. We talked about how they did
26,085 minutes, the most of any team.
Past couple of years in FNCS, you add Carillion in the roster. Someone that does like to get aggressive. He can get a little bit.
Waiting for Smarty all.
More experience in the belt. Right now, they're inside of that bubble at 141 points. And so far, they have priority in terms of being able to rotate in towards the zone. The rest of the map, the north, the western edge, and even some of those teams that would rotate from the south have not caught up just yet. So this is going to be the best shot that they have to try to aim for one of those mountain ranges and set up for what could be a long game.
Long game ahead for everyone here. Bozy, Day, and Josh. Man, tough game 4 for them, huh? Falling so early, now leaving it all down to this last round here.
Okay. 194 points were required to qualify for consistency last season. Very similar. On EA's roster, 189 points today. That's kind of the threshold. It should be the overall goal that you're looking to end, but you gotta try to aim as close to that if possible. A lot of teams continue to rotate through the north. Passing Utopia, just trying to get towards zone. Boji, and even Boogeyman taking a lot of damage there, having to pause their rotation.
I don't know why the spawn locations is in the air. I would recommend lower that.
Oh no, it's up to Eden. This is bad.
Oh, Amelia with the box up right there, but he gets tagged instead.
Curly on the boost here. 141 points. This is their tournament running. What are you doing? You have
Oh wait, they're fighting foil. Wait, what?
Just tough
Look, Ken.
situation all around.
Chat. Wait, I think you're fighting foil. What? Trying to get the exotic boss, bro. What's happening, bro?
And rewarded. Now it's not looking too good for Poyo.
They even stole that elimination point away from Poyo.
So
Northern,
too
trying
fan.
to close the gap with the rest of the team.
Chat, I've been AFK for 2 hours. Now I'm back. Chat, I know I'm vibing during minutes. Yeah.
Said, nope, you guys are right. Maybe we shouldn't take this one. I think the full team.
So Camden Dragon Soul.
Eliminations escape, especially since as of now, Monster, they're kind of isolated away from every
Since I'm nice, I'm gonna let a nice little guess in here.
Here's your acorn for you. Just doing what they need to do. Go ahead and run the lobby. Already at S rank as well.
I'm not inviting everybody, okay? Just only one for now. I'm not inviting everybody.
They really took advantage of their drop spot.
Oh wait, there's more. Wait, is there more fights here?
Experience from that.
All surge base.
Along the way. If they activated the Spire Shrines and then
50, nice.
the Shrine boss as well.
Again, does any invite join?
I don't know, Monster. Maybe 6 zone. They should be as
I send you an
fully
invite to
linked out.
talk.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Get it this early in the game.
Did see Avenger pick up an elimination throughout the course of the past couple of seconds. Vixie as well. That's going to be the cleanup on the Knave, so they're going to solidify that one. Broken Void King, 176 points. For them, they essentially started in second place coming into this game on that consistency leaderboard, and they're at 176 points, so even though they're not in that point threshold, we're looking to kind of claim players and teams would be safe, they are so close. A couple more eliminations, surviving, maybe even just to the top 12. They don't need a massive game by any means, but they need
I am
a game
streaming
that's
later.
just good enough to get across that hump.
Oh, let me search up broken. Oh wait, spectating Luke again. Let me look up broken for it.
Quickly behind them, they're gonna look it out.
Broken Forex.
Liam getting one
4K
on the rotation here, refarming
all along the way.
I think by now a bunch of teams have realized the position that they're in. They played 4 straight games out. They're not in the bubble yet. They realize not they're tired of FNCS because there still is the last chance qualifier. But the last chance qualifier is a very similar format, except no consistency. 3 games, win and you're in, and that's even if you make it to a finals lobby for your region's qualifier, because you still have to go to the open portion where there's Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3 all playing in the same tournament.
Bro, can we just call so I can
update for Hound.
I sent you an invite to talk. 8 minutes left. We want to do
They got
8 seconds left. Oh, rip. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm gonna play 99 nice in the fourth, but you have to go to go to sleep. The next time, though. I promise next time.
As far as the overall story is concerned, but no, trying to turn it up Sky. They do get him. Tough one to deal with here now.
Alright, it gave me
Not even just a knock, it was the actual elimination. So you have to wait for the Reaver Van to recharge before they even make an attempt at it again. Carillion has different things in mind.
You need a script for the doll, though. You need a script for the doll. Just kidding.
That's going to be the best chance to try to get the reboot.
And if they upgraded
No
enough,
scope.
you can kind of see it in
No,
the map
none.
as well. They do have those hero chests.
Chat, everybody lock
If they have
in.
the rank to access them, which would be a good amount
Chat,
of
we gotta get
nice
this.
amount of
Who's gonna
fuel
get
to try
this
to
big
get
Drew
back
Royale?
into the zone.
Cam, did I invited you to speak?
That rank had nothing to worry about here. That passive regen, obviously keeping them up. So
I sent you an invite to speak.
definitely having a much better game of the two.
found this.
Oh, respecting Master. Spectating Master.
1,000 above the damage threshold for Preston. and Gray, 144 points. That's how they started this game inside
I
of the
mean,
bubble.
Pollo.
And
It's
you're seeing two
spectated
wildly
Pollo
different
again.
approaches from some of these teams. Others trying to close that point gap through getting eliminations. And
Bro,
then the
Pollo
rest
has
of the
not
teams
won
are trying to play that
any
calm,
games
cool,
yet. I don't know if
collected,
he's
fly
gonna
under
get
the radar,
Rams.
survive, let placement do its thing, and let those eliminations naturally present themselves throughout the course of the game. Pollo just getting aggressive from one team to another. He doesn't care who's in his line of sight. He just wants to fight him. That's Turbulence, that's T, that's A-Man that are trying to disengage towards that low ground.
Oh, we got A-Man lucky again.
Following them every step of the way.
Chat, who's about to win?
Good push right here.
Look, Cannon.
And they're just so far ahead of the rest. They're ending tournament
Pollo
runs
eliminate Lucky.
back to back at
Nice.
this rate. And then into the storm. Hunting down Turbulence, cut him off. Even with the misform, they try to cone him up there, but he manages to slip out. Pollo's on his heels, though. Reminder, there is a cooldown, so he cannot spam it. Dashes as well to cut this player off. And this is all she wrote. There goes the box up there. Comes Acorn here shortly.
Oh, it made another
They want to
switch.
chase the other team. This is all Pollo.
Yeah, this is Turbulence. You may not necessarily know, but this is his chance at being able to take
Oh,
his
wait, they're
fight
trying.
in a 1v1.
Wait, Adrian's trying to eliminate Amen.
Going right
Hey,
on
man.
Up, that's just going to expose himself to
Wait,
the shots
hey,
of
man.
Adrian. He's going to be able to get the knock onto that one, which puts a lot more pressure on the Turbulence than he had literally seconds ago. As the last one alive on his team. Tournament is literally on the line. If you
I'm in the
don't
money
want to
pit.
go to the LCQ,
Now I have to
Turbulence,
reverse
now is your
the
chance.
which some people
I was
calling
pretty
it a
intense. Pollo trying to wait till the last second for the siphon, but Turbulence manages to defend himself well. Just well enough to force the Medmist to come out. He just comes back to back him up. And I'm sure they're talking about that in columns. What all just happened there? How did you not get that
next
finish?
time, if you want to play my game when you're done.
It's all good. Good to see another day.
Maybe on stream. Wait, is it released it or no?
It's the points. Backing up now for Void Broken.
Hey, man.
Saw the stat from before. What 94 was that point area, that threshold you have to
And
get
now
to just last season.
Wait, you gotta script a doll though. You gotta get a doll. And you gotta get other games like the cookie game and all that stuff.
Game monster, if I see that medallion on my mini-map, I'm going the whole opposite direction. But tournament's on the line, especially for a team like
Wait,
this,
when there's
Sandman,
when
20
is
and
when is there gonna
Northern,
be another Squid
they're
Game
so
trailer?
close to Acorn, Ages, and Pollo kind of staggered out the rotation for a little bit, let them disengage on out before they start to move forward. Even with another team there, at least it's not them. But this is Carillion, Hound, and Aiden. You also need to have a certain performance here to lock in their spot for the grand final. They're only 86
Oh
above
no,
the
they gotta
damage
lock
threshold.
in 86 to ball, bro. That's not good at all.
Especially since so many teams are now focusing in your direction.
Oh, bro, what is
Basically calling
that,
it
bro?
firing squad,
Is
trying
that
to
the
get
Uzi
any
for
bit of damage
rivals,
and
bro?
hopefully
Chill.
down.
They need it. Look, Southern Pool now. Another big rotate for them. Dashes are going to go ahead and give them a chance to, obviously make a big move here. Luckily, there's not too many teams kind of lurking about.
You need a
so
kick-in
you
system.
not even need to really depend on the dashes here.
Alright, just look at what I'm typing.
You need a respawn,
Ant-Man's
but
team obviously got their pickups, so
System
they're
or
kind of
something.
back in the running here.
we are not humans. We are ours. Ours is bro. What?
Ooh, that team's under surge right now.
Yeah, Hound and them may not necessarily see it because you don't see the stripes that your opponents are getting
Probably a
storm
while,
surge. You will
'cause
feel
I don't
the
have
shield
diamond.
crack if you aren't close enough, which is a huge giveaway if nobody's kind of shooting in that direction and what they're going through at any given moment. But Hound, trio 300 above the damage threshold is not necessarily
crap.
a worry
Whoa,
for them,
whoa.
so they're just going to continue to
They gotta lock
rotate in.
in.
This Pollo Ages Acorn, they take notice of the lobby. They fire off in that direction. It's only a momentary focus from the lobby. They're going to be able to survive, clean up that elimination, and continue to hunt for more.
6 elims already. Plenty of material here to play for high ground if they want to.
Okay. Alright, should I make Dalgona? Yes or no? Wait, no.
Choice.
Towers down. It's somebody else got knocked around here as
Yeah,
well
let me
from a whole
just
other team.
game.
Leland's on there trying to save the day. Hound's trying to get in with the dashes, and he does. Catches Blue off guard. Had him looking lost there
Lock
for
it
a
in,
moment.
man.
As Hound and Curly
Everybody lock in.
very much needed
That's like this
damage,
kiosk
and
before,
even more
bro.
so the elimination for the resources.
Everybody lock in, man.
Pick me up opportunities. Void's trying to run away.
I need to be on the
Ages
box,
just hunting
but I
down
don't
on
know
the
how.
side from one team to the next. As soon as they see somebody move monster, they are just W-king their way in.
8 games.
Play it though. If your Asia's Acorn for you, I mean, they got nothing to lose. Clearly.
What? Say that
Packing
again?
up these lobbies left and right now, and they're just continuing to flex their way through the low ground. Again, this is, if anything, a showing of how they're trying to prepare for
Wait,
grand
you want to see
finals
my
now.
thumbnail for my Wii challenges?
I mean, yeah.
Bro, what are you even talking? So I've had your screen in the background
Do you
and
have
for
emails for them
echoing
as well?
and it's making it
So
snap.
Oh
low,
my
they
God,
need a
no.
refresh here.
Bro,
Nothing yet.
look at my image.
This is the point in the game. Top 17 placement points have just started.
Bro, I can make a better
It's gonna
icon.
cascade with
What's up,
every
though?
single team that does go down, making this one of the most
Or
important
expecting
parts of the
Sandman.
game for a team like Sandman 20 and Morgan. They started this game, I believe, outside of that bubble, but since then they're climbing their way in towards it, inside of the top 5. If not, that victory royale in the final game of the day is going to be the goal for a lot of these teams. Hound, Carillion, Aiden. Step by step throughout the course, we've seen them below surge. Now they're 263 above the damage threshold with the senior elimination, making sure to calculate every single one of their pushes.
These games. Fuck.
Next, Losers Spoilio Acorn still hunting. Looking around, they find Boji. Uh-oh, not looking good for young Boji's out
Yo,
there.
what shadow?
Quick dash.
Chat, there's 40
Day
people
there,
left.
chipping
Who
away
is
from
getting
the
this
Storm's
final
edge.
win?
Meanwhile, Void, Broken, and King holding on to
You
their
want
tournament
the
kind of position. The front
Yeah,
side
this is the
rotate,
last
get
match.
underneath the crevice. They're just waiting for the zone to go ahead and move. At this point, those players are just trying to avoid Voya aging and
Oh, it's
Acorn's
not. It's the group stage.
aggression.
It's a group stage.
Yeah, even if it means leaving your teammate
Well,
off the
it's a
drive,
major.
we've seen a
It's
few times
I'm watching
before.
Major Dre.
And already, Monster, we've seen a
I
second
am
place,
streaming the
a
schedule
third
stream
place, a fifth
in like
place out of
20
them. They
minutes.
have their eyes in the clouds. It almost looks like they're going for high ground. Maybe we can get there first. I know other players in the lobby are hoping for it as well. Sandman 20 and Northern find another elimination onto Minty. 830 damage above the threshold. They're trying to rock their way across that finish line, but it just got harder for Broken and King.
Bro, this is actually kind of fun to watch. I am redirecting. It was actually kind of fun to watch. I'm gonna do this again, bro. If when I watch the finals, bro, if
so much, but it is so desperate of a situation to be in when you don't have backs to work with, and that's why Northern falls there.
Bro,
20 now.
I'm not even trolling. The finals is in like August 2nd to 3rd, and whoever gets first place gets $180,000 each to 3 people.
South, 2 players are there waiting.
Yup.
Doesn't even close
Not
that if
not
you're on.
180,000 each, but like
A lot to
but
deal
like,
with
you
here.
know.
Another team above him as well. From Hound's perspective and Carillion, though, they're in the same boat.
it's like 60,000, 60,000, 60,000, I think.
Not much you can do here. Shots coming in from the side. Those wood walls. Balls too fast. Carillion living off the siphon here. Fine to search. I mean, you might as well pull it out. What do you do here? Boji behind in the storm. Nice knock. That's the
Wait, what game passes can I make?
Bro, make a rebuy theme pass and then script
a
it.
disaster. A tournament wins I would have not expected at this point. Preston getting chunked out by his own tries to make his way there. He gets cut short of that top layer power. It's on to the last game of the
Wait,
day.
is the run like green light Smarty?
Out Blue inside. It was a sacrifice Blue made to make sure Power can stay in this game. They have 6 eliminations so far. Storm Search not a worry in their mind.
Wait,
They just
Nerx,
need to be
what?
able to finish this
Chat,
game
who is
out,
winning?
maybe even
There's
the top
7
5.
teams
The
left.
same thing, but with no builds, no teammates. It's a much different road for him.
We're in the top 6.
Okay, he's got plays.
Imagine we were live at the same time. I want to do that.
No, a shot comes in, gets his med kit, buys himself a little second, finds Boyo on the side there. Yeah, don't want to deal with that one at all, but the clock is ticking. Chum Jug in front of him. Player as well.
Oh
Couldn't
no!
get the siphon denied in the final moments there, and that might just be
Chat,
enough to
make
end
your
his run now.
make
Power
your
Blue and Zonda still
make your
running points
predictions.
here.
Make your predictions right now. Puyo, who's winning? Puyo, Luke, Tower FN's team. Who's winning, bro? Who's winning? Who's winning right now? Who is winning this tournament? Chat, if Puyo wins, we got to spam the entire chat. Flix is not playing this game mode. Flix is not in the game. Flix is not playing right now. Flix is playing the next group. So next week, Flix is gonna be playing. Oh wait, it's Power, FN, and Puyo, I think.
There's only one more team left alive. collab in this game, and
Can
it's a
I
cool
Right.
duo that's trying to hide underneath.
Bro, Clicks is not playing. Clicks is playing like next week. And I believe PewDiePie is next week too, I don't know. Wait, it's Power's team versus Foil. Wait, who's winning? Is it Foil? Chat, Foil wins. Chat, Foil might win. Chat, wait, chat, Foil's team might win. Wait, Foil, Agers, and Acorn might win. No way, bro! I literally predicted it. I literally predicted it last match, bro. Tell me in the chat. Congratulations, Foil,
for them at this point. They were
Acorn, and Agers for winning the final matches. GG's, man. We got all, bro. We got everybody winning, bro. W's in the chat, bro.
The overall points. So if you're
W's in the chat, bro. That was a great watch. That was a great watch time.
Opened up
I'll be live earlier. I won't let you guys wait 15 minutes for the stream to start. I'll be live like probably last minute before stream starts, or like when they're done yapping. So like, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And on the pin chat with Mario says, subscribe and like to the stream. I will do this again. And Flicks ever plays this, of course I'm gonna stream it. See you guys in like 15 minutes. Bye bye.